But at least now it can't get much worse.
But it did get worse.
You're letting me go? So that's it after 20 years. So long, good luck?
I don't recall saying good luck.
Nerd! As a jock, it is my duty to give nerds a hard time. Hey, pal, did you get a load of the nerd?
Pardon me?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Oh my goodness, the chair is dying on me. It's a triple. 3 days of shows on the same topic. I typically don't like to do that. I feel a bit strange, but when it rains, it pours, I suppose. There's a content overload, a dearth in the Minnesota corn harvest, or if you want to call it. Today was the stage was set to be a boring day. The Omnibus hearings aren't particularly interesting. It wasn't an in-person event. But somehow, the tech boomering happened. The trolls were in the courtroom. Nick made an appearance at April's hearing. I thought they didn't see each other anymore. They rarely saw each other. That's a bit weird. A bit funny, isn't it? Not only that, there was some spicy content leaks, actually. Now, the Omnibus hearing happened while I was snug in bed, as I believe it was 3, 4, or 5 a.m., based on where I am. But Sean did catch it, and I tried to find a clean copy of the Omnibus hearing. However, I think that Sean and Uncivil Law's coverage was actually really good, and they had some insightful comments. But I do have the clean version right here, and there are some very funny little moments in it. So I think we'll go through that. But towards the end of it, Nate the lawyer jumped on, and he talked about a little bit of Lawtube drama, and actually the reason for the Lawtube implosion. And surprise, surprise, it was about the money. Now, there was some rumors spread that 2 people in Lawtube were promised fat cash payouts from their appearances in the Johnny Depp case, or perhaps it was the Rittenhouse case, or perhaps both. Actually, I believe both was implied. Both were not delivered. I guess it's the next in the long list of undelivered promises, as it would seem. But let me get this. We'll go to this one. This is what it's going to be look like in a second. But Nick did also come out of hiding from the bunker to clarify and correct the record, to say that he never promised them money. But we do have a clip of him promising them something. But I guess technically he can lawyer his way out of this one, because he never promised them a cash amount when he was making $20,000 a day on Super Chats alone. Not even the ad revenue. Not even the YouTube premiums, not even the sponsorships, not even the Rumble contracts. $20,000 a day in Super Chats. Imagine that. Like, after tax, that's more than most people take home in a year. Like, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of Americans don't even have $500 in their bank account. But this man was raking in $20,000 in Super Chats a day. And as some of you may have been in a legal mindset stream as well earlier, and I jumped on that and I had a bit of fun with the boys, and we talked a little about the money. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But speaking of money, Trucker Rob with their $20 saying, "I'm with you, meme. Cancel legal mindset." Legal mindset? You mean, don't you mean this? Oh, that's really quiet. Yes, very, very good. Very good. But no, this is actually because some people in chat are unable to read the room, and I'm not my regulars, but there's a couple. I was felted with no sound. Holy shit! I was actually felted with no sound. Okay, you got me. I did say there was boomer issues on this one. Holy shit!
Legal mindset.
There you go. There you go.
Legal mindset. Legal dick suckers, more like it.
There you go. There you go. Okay, you guys got me. You guys got me that one. Look, you got to mute this stream. You got to mute it at the beginning. You got to mute it at the beginning because the YouTube, the StreamYard, it echoes. Okay, okay. I know I've been doing this for about 2 years, but you got to give me a chance, guys. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, this is actually a bit of a joke. Obviously, I don't want to really cancel Legal Mindset. This is actually how we became friends, as I made a bit of a joke about him in my first Lawtube earnings videos. But we'll get into that towards the end of the stream. So let us begin at the beginning, actually. This is the morning's events. So a lot of people were restreaming the event. I don't know who this guy is, but he was, I guess, doing a live restreaming of it. And there was a few gate crashes, of course. But let's see what the first happened in this 20-second clip.
Like they did Kayla today.
Yeah, Chad's just like
So this is where Kayla, not Kayla, sorry. April is about to connect.
a wall expert.
Oh! It's the cryptid sighting. It's the big felted Baldo. Oh my goodness, look at that. What is he doing there?
There's Nick.
They want a password now.
There's Nick.
Farty, do you got a password?
Oh my goodness. I thought he said they rarely saw each other. Why is April streaming directly from the bunker? That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Dad, shut the fuck up. Ape. Hi, Ape. This is a pleasant surprise.
Oh my goodness. Look at that face. Her smile and optimism gone. Here it is. This is what I see when I see these people. This is exactly the face they're making. Look at that. And you know what? There were some really fun little messages in the chat because obviously this is an open courtroom. If you have the link, some people were joining. Some people were yelling at the judge. They told the judge that I'm the captain now. It's very funny. Don't worry, we'll get to it. But this was a fun little message. Look at this one. Someone in the chat, just as April was making her smile and optimism gone, we got this message from Stoney's Bar and Grill to everyone. Get your $2 cans from Stoney's Bar and Grill, located on 158 Broadway Street, Rock Mill, Minnesota. Stoney's. It was very, very entertaining. But yeah, it was a fun little event of the days. But yes, also we do have some new documents. They're pretty short. We have what is this? This one is I believe this is April's motion to dismiss. Yeah, motion to dismiss and suppress. And we also have the transcript from the contested omnibus yesterday from Kayla's hearing, the one where Nick showed up to run out of the courtroom and film people because he felt like he was being pressed, but Lisa typed it all up. She's tearing me apart with these slow transcribings. No, I guess she's doing a pretty good job. But all right. So first we're going to go. First, what I want to do is I want to go through and have a look at because in Sean's recording, which I think Sean's recording was the best, which I have here. I don't think he has he doesn't have Nick showing up. And he doesn't have some of the messages that popped up here. So in the pre-stream, it's like a 10-minute record. Like these omnibus hearings are very quick. Just like you should quickly like the stream because it does always help out with the numbers. But I believe there was some comments that show up at the bottom, like this one. From Joey to everybody. April looks terrible. So this is a message that's sent to every participant. And there's a lot of people in the courtroom. Like, I'm going to be honest. I don't approve of touching the cow. I think that I know it's impossible to observe something without affecting it, even at a subatomic level. But I like to treat these people like they're at their zoo exhibits, right? Like if you go to the zoo, you're not supposed to throw peanuts at the chimps, right? Because then they get angry and they start hooting and hollering, and they're probably going to kick you out, and you won't be able to see the chimps anymore. And they might even close the exhibit for everybody. So while it is funny to see the chimps scatter and hoot and holler, it's not in our best interest, and it's just a bad look. Like, don't ruin the content for everybody. Just observe from a distance, like you would a exhibit of baboons. Perhaps take pictures, perhaps point and laugh, perhaps send the pictures to your friends and say, look at the size of this baboon and how many whiskey bottles they can squeeze between their cheeks. Something like that. That's fine. That's fine. But I think when you get involved, when you start yelling at the judge, like these people, even though they may have done something that you find reprehensible, they do deserve their day in court, to be fair and honest, right? Now, saying that, I am going to laugh quite a bit during this stream at the hilarious events that unfolded. But that is my disclaimer, that officially I disapprove of this, but it is very funny. It is very funny. But I guess not if you're involved, right? There's another message I think that comes up here in a second. Where is it? Let's see. That was the Stoney's Bar and Grill. I'm not sure if April's actually reading this, but she doesn't look very impressed. What was this one? I'll say there's an observer to everyone. Don't A-log. Please just observe. That's a good message. That's a good, honest message. But you could see April, I think she knows what's about to happen. It's like you got to just accept what's about to happen, what's about to go down. Let me see. There's a couple other messages from Stoney's Bar and Grill told everyone to shut up, which is good advice. Stop ruining it. Because again, these future court proceedings may not be open to the public if you act like this. Judge looks pissed off. That was a very obvious one. Yes, the judge was very, very upset during this. And I believe he's trying to hold these random participants at contempt of court for their appearances. And you can get in trouble for doing this in theory. In theory, let me see. Let me just bring this up. In theory, you can get held in contempt of court for this, but the reality is that good luck, because I'm behind 7 proxies. Good luck finding my IP judge, and you're probably not even the same jurisdiction, right? That's the way it is. That's the way it is. I think that was most of the messages. There was some other ones here. Let's see. Joey sucking up to the judge a little bit, saying "True that, judge." I don't think you can score points with the judge in the live stream chat of a court proceeding. I'm not sure if you're hoping that the judge is going to shout out your chat and be like, but they rarely see each other. Like the judge isn't going to start bringing up people's chats and say, "From Joey says, true that, judge." Like I don't think that happens in a courtroom. But I don't know. Maybe this is the future of courtrooms. It seems like people enjoy it. Maybe the future is just bread and circuses, right? Okay, so this brings us into Sean's coverage of the day. And of course, you can go see this on his stream. It was 16 hours ago. It was called April, Imholte's Omnibus hearing featuring Uncivil Law and Mate the Lawyer. Looks like my internet is lagging again. I think I need to upgrade my Firefox or something. Aspen followed with 2 says, "Praise be to Beam Copium, the best baby girl." I don't know what you mean by that, but it sounds regenerate. I'm an adult male. But I guess it's one of those things, right? If you say, like, the king who has to say he's a king is no king. Let me just try and get this working. Should I just refresh this maybe? Fucking hell. Hold on a second. Let me try refreshing this. I think I've just got too many tabs open. Look at all those tabs. That's when Nate shows up. I want to see when the court proceedings happen. And we're kind of just going to go through this in real time, I think.
Back to okay. The information is inside.
There we go.
Yes,
there we go. I'm going to close Sean's chat, although it is funny and I wanted to read it. I think it's for a better viewing experience, and it's maybe the cause of the lag. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let us begin. Wait, BP is in the... No, it's RP. Okay, I thought. He's too busy to come to my stream. He's going to streams in Minnesota. That'd be crazy. All right. Let's start from here.
Up there.
How you doing, counselor?
Got Uncivil Law commenting on it.
I think we are scheduled for an omnibus hearing on Ms. Imholte.
How's the audio sound, guys?
Here we go, chat.
And Mr. Gallagher is here on her behalf. Ms. Pierce is here for the state. Mr. Gallagher, how
would you ask for a correction of her name? It's Miss Anderson.
Your Honor, I did file motions last night that were logged in this morning by court administration and would be requesting a contested omnibus setting.
All right. You're going to be looking for testimony.
It starts off pretty normal, then it gets really crazy.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
All right, let's just figure out how much time we need to set aside, and then we'll get a date.
Oh, okay. So nothing's going to happen.
I would guess an hour, maybe.
We'll see where April's at. That'll be the best thing.
First of all, I want to say this is just something that I do hate. I do hate these fake bokeh backgrounds that Zoom makes. And it's probably time to move off Zoom for these, because apparently they just people can join without being muted, which is a big mistake.
I don't think it would take more than that.
Well, he filed at the last minute chat.
Let's see if we can find a date. I assume we don't have any trouble with time limits.
We would waive any time limits, Your Honor, on the defense side.
Also, I have to criticize Sean's managing of this, because he needs to press on this arrow over here so that he can bring up April's screen so we can see her face going like this. Like,
I'm going to sign with Judge Wenzel.
That's what we need.
Okay.
I'm looking for a date now.
Where's April?
Boomer Sean. I mean, I did mute my stream at the beginning, so it's. I mean, everyone does it.
Judge
it could happen
Wenzel,
to you
so
too. You could have one
that's
bad
the same
day
judge,
and
right,
stream.
as the other judge, which makes more sense.
Yeah. That makes sense. They come out of the same conduct, the same course of action.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes entirely
Same
sense.
same judge oversees all the related cases.
Yes. Let's see April. I want to see her pop up on screen. Where is she at?
You can't find it. It's hidden
Guys,
under
this is the
uncivil law.
Judge who's over presiding the omnibus hearing here, and then we've got that's a prosecutor, the one who's already felt in.
How you doing, prosecutor?
Wait a second. Why is Kurt saying that? How you doing, prosecutor? Is that because it's the only lady there? Come on, Sean. Is the love quest still? Not Sean. Sorry, Kurt. Is the love's quest still going on? You look like to be. It looks like it's. He's had a couple.
She felt
drinks.
to Nick in the Barnes Walker.
Your Honor, I'm looking at January 15th.
Oh,
at 11 o'clock.
January. Ugh, that's a long time away.
That's a long time, man.
Hey, that's stealing my steal. What the fuck? Come on now, Kurt. You can't be copying what I say. I mean, I did watch this though, so I guess he's inceptioning me to say that, but that's a long time away. It really isn't though. Like in the legal system, like the legal system takes fucking forever. So what is it? It's almost November. So what? That's like 2 months. It's not unreasonable, really.
That works for the state.
Is there anything in the following week?
Oh, jeez.
Any chance?
We're kicking this out a while, man.
Well, at least there'll be like content into
normal,
the new year.
To be honest,
I have January 21st at 9 a.m.
I mean, to be fair, my schedule's kind of getting booked up at this point.
Anything later in the day than that, possibly?
I have a 9 through 11, so I could do a 10 a.m.
Could we do that?
This is a good example of why I am quite happily not a lawyer and never want to be one. This is how regular affairs proceed. Very boring, a lot of back and forth, a lot of dead air, not a lot of spicy drama. But the second half of this court recording, things start to go off the rails. It's a bit of a delay as me clicking this as well.
10 a.m. would work.
Well, of course, you guys are right there. It always works.
I think we said the 21st at 10 a.m.
21st of January. Okay.
Anything else this afternoon?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Right,
Stone gloves, you April. Keep your head up, dear.
There we go. We got the first troll. Believe in yourself, April. Don't give up.
Yeah, I think it's proof that
You can see Kurt losing it a bit. This person, whoever's got this hot rod car picture, they have the funniest reaction. They are the naughtiest person, but they are the funniest.
April men will willing to burn down the world for a Minnesota 6.
Oh, can we get some Minnesota 6s in the chat? Oh my goodness. A man will burn down the world for a Minnesota 6. Holy shit. Now, this criticism has been levied on Twitter before, and I'm not sure if I showed it when we were going through the Cope tweets, but there was a statement that someone called Nick a 6 and April a 4, and then April responded, and she said, look, together we're a 10, which is very cringe, but I mean, I guess you can't. It's only cringe on Twitter. It's cringe all the way down.
Courtroom, whoever the observer is.
Help me.
So that was Kurt saying, help me. And the judge is a little bit miffed. He's slightly upset, a little bit rattled, and he's going a bit red in the face. Like he looks a little bit like Kurt after a couple of drinks.
Jesus Christ.
All right, thank you very much. The matter is adjourned.
No, wait. I'm not. My math is correct. It's not lawyer math. Someone called a 4 and someone was called a 6, and it's together they're a 10. They're not both 6s. I know that 2 6s equals 12 because I play dice games.
Observer, can you just ban the judge? He's annoying.
Where's April?
Can I just replay? I gotta replay. That's the best. That's the best line. That's the best line. I'm the captain now.
Thank you very much. The matter is adjourned.
Observer, can you just ban the judge? He's annoying.
Where's April? We can see.
Holy shit! You can actually see, like, I think the judge has like some anger Tourette's or something. Like, look at the way their face reacts to that. And this doesn't surprise me whatsoever because judges are used to having decorum in their courtroom. They're used to being able to get the bailiff to just remove people or hold people in contempt of court. These people are not prepared for the internet, and honestly, they should have been. They know how high profile this case is, and they know that people were even dropping N-bombs in Nick's first case. Right from the offset, they knew this would be a disaster. But they can't expect people to just be well-behaved. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen again because they got a reaction, and that's what people want. But look carefully at the judge's face.
Can you just ban the judge? He's annoying.
Where's April?
Look here.
We didn't get to see April.
See that? He looks like Ethan Klein when he's podcasting.
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit!
Who is speaking?
Sir, can you just leave? We're gonna take over now. Thank you.
Can you just leave? We're gonna take over now. Oh, suffer, judge. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the judge is a nerd. Get out of there. Like, this is boring. Like, Judge Daddy, I'm more like it, right?
Yeah, April's a whore. I still like you, April.
April's a...
Holy shit.
Whoa! At least there's one guy. There's one April simp in there saying, "I still like you, April." Oh, that's it. Must be an old school Steel Toe fan that maybe rubbed a couple out when April showed up in her bikini, which was a disaster. Why do that, Aaron? Was it Aaron's idea or was it April's idea? Who can say? Who can say? Oh my goodness. Look at Sean. Holy shit. Sean's just like, bravo. Like, Kurt tries to be a bit moral here and say, like, come on, this is ridiculous, guys. But I think Sean is he's just reveling in the chaos. Oh my goodness. And Miss Ryan with a $20 super sticker. And that is a very adorable Shibi wearing a samurai gear. That's really cute. That's cool. Very Japanese. I live in Japan, so I love Shibis.
You see it, Judge? You seeing it? You using your eyeballs?
Just tell me
the
your
judge
name,
can't
sir.
find out who's talking.
Yeah.
Is this B. LaRue? Is that you?
Oh, I'm not Balin LaRue.
That was Nicholas Rekieta. Yeah,
This is
that's Nicholas Rekieta. Bill Schultz is on the list.
My name is my name is Nicholas Rekieta. Oh my goodness! If this actually affected Nick's case, that would be disastrous. It would be disastrous.
Connor or Mary, can you speak?
You will not ban me from speaking. This is America.
Holy shit! Can we get some freedoms in the chat? This is America. You can't ban me from speaking. I thought this was America. Oh my god, this is amazing.
Sir,
I don't know you, but I am finding you.
I will not stand for this.
I'm finding you.
Even though I'm sitting right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, you're gonna. God. What
Yeah,
courthouse am I in? What
You're in his courthouse. You're making an appearance in his courthouse. You're making an appearance.
What courthouse am I in, Judge? Show me. Nick Rekieta told me I could join your courtroom and be in contempt. Holy shit. What part of Japan am I in? I'm in Kansai, Western Japan.
It's in his courthouse as we speak. He can absolutely find you in contempt.
Stop. What about April being a whore? Like, does she need to be punished for her whore activities?
Holy shit, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Look, I know that some people want to change the laws, but you can't actually punish April for being a schlag, okay? If she wants to do that, that's her freedom to do it. It's America. You can't tell people to shut up in court on Zoom, apparently, and you can't punish people for being slags, okay?
Oh god.
And I hope they do find you in contempt. I hope they find you in contempt. I hope
You're
they
all
drag
Democrats,
you into the
I bet.
courthouse.
You couldn't
put you in jail.
wrong. Oh my gosh.
I'll go to wherever our state is.
If we get the goal, I'll put on my Trump hat. It's like you guys don't even want to see me wear a hat. I'm still
extradited myself personally. Just tell me where he lives.
Judge Nutsind.
I'm gonna put everyone except the participants.
Sean's
back
choking
in the
on his
waiting room.
bologna right now. His sandwich isn't going down easy. Oh, I forgot the ceiling cats. You're right. Hold on, I'm going to turn them on. Thank you very much.
Too many people disturbing the proceeding. I can't really tell who they are, and so.
Oh, they got removed.
We all got nuked. Good job.
I think that though, like, hold on, did I get rid of my tab already? I thought that the other person didn't get removed.
You like scram?
Let me just check. So there's a guy called Greg Edwards, Greg Edwards Alt F4, and he has a couple of the other trials, I think. He had the first trial hearing for April 2 months ago, and he has today's one. And this was probably the cleanest copy I could find. But I thought that he did get... I'm not sure if he got kicked out at the same time, but he had the April face reactions, which is why it's a nice little contrast. And I want to see if everyone gets kicked out at the same time, because I don't think that they did, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think we said
maybe they did. Maybe they did. Let's see from this point of view. If you want all the judge face reactions, this is where you get them from this stream. And you can see some of the you can see just how many participants there are actually as well there. He's in the chat, the Alto 4 guy, is he? Where? I can't see. Oh, there he is, Greg Edwards. Ayo. Hey, man, that's a good copy. Thank you very much for uploading this. I was having a hard time finding this. I thought people would be archiving this and all sorts of shit, but apparently not. I like that Nutsend is on the screen, just in big bold letters, although they are muted. Okay.
I'm gonna bang my gavel.
All right, that looks like it's the end though. Okay, so we got all the content. We got all that content. Now we return. We will return to Sean's stream, because it picks up again when Nate the lawyer joins and they start talking about Lawtube drama. But first, we'll go through the court documents. I think they're pretty short, pretty easy to go through, and breaks up the stream a little bit. So let's see. This is motion to. Oh no, let's start with Kayla. Sorry, let's start with Kayla. This is much shorter. We'll go from shortest to longest. This is the transcript from yesterday's Omnibus hearing. An appearance was Shane Baker, Candy Ojai County Attorney, appeared on behalf of the plaintiff. Maggie Clover, Attorney at Law, appear on behalf of the defendant, which is Kayla. Kayla Rekieta, the defendant, was personally present, whereupon the following proceedings were duly held. And of course, Nick was in the stand, as well as one other mysterious woman. They got pressed, as Nick is wont to do, unless there's a man present, like Ron Toye, and then he flees to a coffee shop and then sees him again, has to flee again, because he can't possibly get into an altercation with the remote bandit, or he might send him some books on self-help or something. Who can say? Who can say? So we begin. The matter is set for a contested omnibus hearing here today. Miss Clover, I did see that you filed a motion. Do you still have that contested issue here today? Yes, Your Honor. And your issue? It is challenging the search for warrant for probable cause. I did speak with Mrs. Baker beforehand and Mrs. Pierce. We thought that we would put it on for a briefing schedule. The court responds, all right. And Miss Baker, your understanding, or you understand the issue, you have supplied any exhibits? I understand the issue. Miss Pierce did provide through MNDES, which is the Minnesota. It's like the thing that they upload. It's like their Dropbox or whatever. The application for the search warrant, and inventory. All right, and Miss Clover was provided that as well. No other witnesses today? No. On the interjecting, not based on the issue, no. Mrs. Clover? No, Your Honor. How much time would you like to have to brief the matter? Your Honor, I've got a few other briefs and trials in the next few weeks. Could I have until November 25th? Okay, that's actually really interesting. So the tail end of November is going to be very spicy in the Rekieta household, because it seems like we may have Kayla's next hearing, or at least Kayla's next response, on the 25th. And then we've got Nick's both civil and criminal cases on, I believe, the 26th and the 27th. And then you have Thanksgiving holiday. So that's going to be a really interesting dinner table, if I had to imagine. There's going to be a lot to mull over in the while they're passing the green beans and perhaps basting those turkeys, but hopefully not the type of basting they do in Hedonism 2. Let's see. So I know that's a long time, but I think I'll try to get it in before then. It's not really that long. It's just 1 month away. That'll be fine. November 25th. Thank you. It's a Monday, Mrs. Baker. Sorry, I'm just looking at the calendar. Maybe 2 weeks to respond. It would be December 9th. That would be fine. The court will take the matter under advisement as of December 9th, after all briefs have been filed. Okay, so it looks like they'll get their response. They'll get their first brief in from the 25th, and then the court gets 2 weeks. So December 9th is when the court will try to respond. Anything else for today? No, Your Honor. Thank you. Mr. Baker, nothing from the state. All right. Mrs. Rekieta, I know your attorney normally notifies you of the date and time of the hearing. You need to make sure that you know in your calendar or however you're alerted to it. It's your responsibility to be in person on court in time. So make sure that this doesn't happen again. that you're late, okay? Because they showed up late to court. Now, Nick is a notorious speeder, so maybe somebody else drove Kayla there, who can say? But according to the person on the scene that that sent the video to TV's Will Heron, they said that they left together. So maybe they were late because they had to go to Kayla's parents to pick her up. We don't know. The divorce arc is actually sounding more and more realistic to me. And I've got a poll going up here. We've got 500 votes already. Is the divorce arc happening? I had my doubts on the divorce arc because it seems like, you know, they're going together through this trauma bonding experience. They've got 5 kids. They've got 20 years of history together. Surely they would stay together. But the stuff coming from April and the fact that April was in the house today, that makes me really think. I'm starting to wonder. The divorce arc might be real because the things coming out of April's mouth seem to imply that she's jockeying for the top position. She doesn't want to be the bottom bitch anymore. She wants to be on top. And Kayla might need to watch her back because April's a hunter, right? She would go hunting, bow hunting, on the Rekieta residence. They've got a lovely property with many forests full of deer. And look, people go missing in those woods all the time. It happened last Halloween to Mama JF, so you never know. I'm just saying. Look, when you've got a crazy woman on the loose, who knows what could happen? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. So make sure that Kayla's on late next time. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you. That will conclude the hearing for today. End of record. So like I said, nice, quick, and easy one. And then they have the people that were there, dated October 29th. Now, should I jump into the next stuff just yet? No, we'll go into the motion to suppress, then we'll go into the next stuff, and then we'll go into the Lawtube stuff. I think that makes sense to me. Ape is a carnivore. That's true. That's true. She no longer wants to escape. She's in there for good. She's in there for keeps. Should I make this a bit larger? That looks better, I think. Everyone can read that, right? The cats can read that? Yep. Okay, they can see it. So this is motion to dismiss and suppress. To Kirsten Pierce, Assistant Candido High County Attorney, as to each and every charged offense and as to each and every separate behavioral incident alleged, the defendant by and through defendant's attorney, Thomas C. Gallinger, the defendant April Imholte, and her attorney, Thomas C. Gallinger demands and moves that the court for an order or relief of the specified below and demands a hearing on the same as provided by the Minnesota Rules of Criminal Procedure. These motions are based on the files, records, and proceedings herein and on the following grounds. To dismiss the complaint pursuant to Minnesota rules. The complaint does not comply with the Minnesota Rules of Criminal Procedure. The complaint fails to allege facts amounting to probable cause to believe that an offense was committed. Minnesota Rules of Criminal Procedure. In the case of an indictment or complaint, the facts stated do not constitute an offense. The complaint fails to establish probable cause to believe that the defendant committed an offense. Further, moves the court, pursuant to the 5th and 6th Amendments of the United States Constitution, for an order dismissing the complaint for lack of sufficiency, or in the alternative, requiring the government to furnish defendant with a bill of particulars. All right, now, so one of the possible defenses that April might have in this is that she was just visiting. She was just a friend of the family. She was just there to, like, maybe gossip about Star Trek or something. She didn't know there was going to be coke there. I mean, and maybe she went in and maybe she just tried a little bit of coke. Certainly, possession is it's very difficult to prosecute someone for use of drugs. It's easier to get them for selling and possession, right? But if you've already ingested them in the past and you have no evidence of this, it's very, very difficult charge. So maybe she just did a little bit as a treat or something. Nobody knows, right? So was she just a guest? First point, this is going to be very hard to prove because she's there all the fucking time. Second of all, Kayla described her as their live-in nanny. Next point, in the 2 digital hearings that April has had, she has streamed from the Baldo bunker. That's going to be a hard sell. And I'm curious, do they just not care? Like, have they just given up of all pretenses of saying, well, like, people know, like, why would you go to the house? Why would you go to the very notorious Baldo bunker to stream the very same Baldo bunker that the prosecutors have pictures of from when they took photos of, well, they took screenshots, I suppose, of Nick's nose being covered in coke from the infamous coke stream. It's a very strange strategy, Cotton, and I don't know how it's going to play out for them. Now, Nick has a explanation for this. So let's take a look if I can find that. I don't think I'm blocked because I'm just an outside observer. I'm not interfering. Let me see. I should have had I probably do have these loaded up somewhere, but I got too many tabs and they seem to be malfunctioning. Let me see. Nick did jump out for a second, but here it is. Okay. So Nick goes on to talk about this is going to be later in the stream. We're going to go back to this tweet. But so Malcolm X and Breaking Baldo or Rekieta on Twitter are doing very excellent coverage of this case. And if you're very interested in live updates as soon as they come out, I'd recommend following them on the X. But we'll come back to this tweet in a second when Nate talks about something. But then there's this person, Cool Hand James, who says, yeah, but Nick, you say you'd never see April, and she's actually living in your house. And we see here, this is a Nobody Likes Onion streams, because the only person that Nick likes to hang out with is Melton, the man that literally made an AI of Aaron Imholte's 10-year-old daughter so that it could say very provocative, I would say sexual things as a joke. I don't know. That's a little bit weird to me, but he's a member. He's a member of the Melton chat. So obviously he co-signs what Melton says. And you can see here that Nick is in the screenshot, and obviously April was in this after her. Now, previously when April appeared, it could have just been a background. So you can do this when you enter StreamYard, right? You can go to settings, virtual background, and you can see that I could stream from my office. Is this working? There we go. As you can see, I'm inside my office right now. This is where I do all my business. And, you know, many people have an office where they like to stream for, or a virtual background, you know, because you don't want to see the bedroom or something. So I decided to put a picture of my office up instead, right? It's perfectly reasonable. We don't know that's really the bunker, right? Then maybe it's just a virtual background. But the problem is, if Nick's there, beginning of the stream, setting it up so April can use it, it makes it a pretty hard thing to argue. Show your bunker? No, I don't think so. I can show you my... No, I was going to show you some cards because the first message I read when I woke up this morning after I got my coffee was about Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And as a child, I did enjoy playing Pokemon. Well, I didn't play Pokemon. I collected Pokemon. And I played Yu-Gi-Oh! So I could show you my my card collection if you want. That's a nerdy thing to have. But anyway, Nick responds, she's not living in my house. Well, that's objectively untrue because she's living in either in your main house or the second property house, the trap house with the dirty, filthy bathroom, which belongs to you. So she literally is living in your house. The question is she living in the main house or is she living in the dog house / the trap house, right? But Nick says she's not living in my house. Now, again, another funny point about this is her registered address is Nick's house. So in the eyes of both reality and the state and the court of law, April is indeed living at her house, regardless of what Nick says on Twitter. She came to my studio for her hearing today because she doesn't have one. Look, okay. Now, I know that production values do go a lot of ways in the streaming game. You don't have to have a studio to attend a Zoom call. You can just use your phone. In fact, most people use their phone to attend a Zoom call. What, she doesn't? You guys don't have phones? Oh my goodness, what a ridiculous statement. She needs to stream from the studio? Why not stream from the master bedroom or stream from the... Why not stream from the master bedroom or stream from the kitchen where Nick does his local streams? It's like, why the bunker? Why the Baldo bunker? It makes no sense. Was it so Nick could goon in the corner so that he could see what it's like? Because usually April's the corner demon. Who can say? What is this? Legal vices. It says, why do you have ceiling cats? You don't have ceiling cats. The ceiling cats were in my office. You can clearly see that this is in fact my office. That's why I'm in this office. Okay. Look, these are my books. That's my hat right here. I'm gonna grab it. Look, I'm gonna reach back and it's not working. Look, the hat will be loaded in a future update to the content patch. Okay, it's like we're not going to talk about it right now. Look, you don't understand. Anyway. So he said, she came to my house for her hearing because she doesn't have one. It was nice. I like seeing her, and it had been quite a while. I miss her. Can we get some X's? Press X to doubt. I don't believe that for a fucking second. She just happened to be in that house. Well, they don't have internet at the second house they're just selling. The house is $400,000 and it doesn't have the internet. Then why is anyone going to buy it? Cool James Hand responded saying, so she's sleeping rough or doesn't have a phone to download Zoom on? Odd. Now, there's a very funny court case. I think perhaps my favorite court case. My favorite court case, or a court event, actually, even funnier than this one, is there is a Zoom court hearing where the guy, he calls in. Oh my goodness! The focus is not. The focal plane is not. It should be here. It should be here. Can I focus on this? There we go. Focal plane should be. There we go. Focal plane should be there. Oh my goodness! This low f-stop. Holy shit! But anyway, so there was a court case where a man was having, I believe it was a restraining order hearing, and there was some background noise in the recording, and it turns out that he was streaming from the cupboard of the woman that he was being restrained from. It was so funny. And holy goodness, the wee-woos have showed up. The office thieves have showed up. Can you hear them in the background? Japanese rat roofing and walling. It's so easy to hear through. But anyway, so let's go back to where were we? Here we are. Okay. So the motions are based on the files, records, and proceedings herein and on the following grounds. To dismiss... Oh, wait, no, I think I read that right. Oh, yeah, I read that part. Sorry, we got to this part. Rule 2.01 of the Minnesota Rules of Criminal Procedure sets forth the content requirements for complaints. The complaint is written, signed statement of facts establishing probable cause to believe that the charged offense has been committed and that the defendant committed it, except as modified by Rule 6.01, Subdivision 4. The probable cause statement can be supplemented by supporting affidavits signed under the penalty of perjury, pursuant to Minnesota statutes, or sworn testimony taken by the issuing judge. The complaint must specify the offences charged, the statute allegedly violated, and the maximum penalty. The complaint must also conform to the requirements of Rule 17.02, and on the comment of Rule 2, because the complaint is accessible to the public, the document supporting the statement of probable cause can contain irrelevant material that is injurious to a third-person party. So by people reading it, it's going to damage her, and that's why we should suppress it, right? Which is not untrue. People are having a bit of a giggle, showing up to her courtrooms. So it's not an unfair thing to say. This is not unfair. It is recommended that a statement be drafted containing the facts establishing probable cause in or with the complaint, and that irrelevant material be omitted. It's irrelevant. Okay, how many women I had at my trap house. The complaint alleges a criminal violation of felony possession of controlled substances, 5th degree, and contains 2.5-page statement of probable cause alleging various facts to be true. Defendant's name is mentioned only 5 times in the statement of probable cause. Located in the home, located in the master bedroom, credit cards listed to Imholte. That was when they found coke on the credit card. They were found in the master bedroom, adjacent to the master bathroom, where Sonny is still locked up to this day. We need to get our girl out in the sun. Can we get some Save Sonnies? Oh my goodness, Save Sonny. Or SS for short, I suppose. Nick Rekieta indicated that Imholte was at the home visiting, and that's April, not Aaron, of course. But of course, this is contradicted by Kayla's statement that may be omitted because I think they read the Miranda rights to them, right? After that point, I'm not sure about that then entirely, but Kayla said that April was a live-in nanny. And the fact, again, that she showed up twice inside the bedroom, or not the bunker, the bunker, maybe is going to be an argument against this. I feel like they're playing really fast and loose, and I guess they're going to say it just doesn't matter because you can make a court appearance anywhere you want. You can visit a friend anytime you want. Sure, I agree with that, but But in a case that is so important to getting your life back on track, I wouldn't be taking any chances. Let me see. The statute charge requires unlawful possession, but the complaint does not allege fact to be true that defendant unlawfully or otherwise possessed illegal drugs. It only says that she was a guest in someone else's home when police executed a search warrant and found illegal drugs. Accordingly, since the complaint contains no factual substantiation or probable cause, it must be dismissed. Probable cause exists when a person of ordinary care or prudence, viewing the totality of circumstances objectively, would entertain an honest and strong suspicion that a specific individual has committed a crime. A person's mere proximity to criminal activity does not, in of itself, establish probable cause. Yeah, so she was just in the bedroom and the credit card was just under the cocaine, but that doesn't mean she was doing cocaine. I mean, yeah, that's fair to argue. I mean, look, maybe she was walking down the hallway to the master bedroom. Her shoes, because Americans wear shoes inside because they're absolute weirdos, tripped on the carpet. She was holding her purse. It flung open. She fell on the bed, and then Kayla started wrestling with her, so she couldn't get up immediately. And then her credit card flew across the room and landed in the pile of cocaine. Like, you don't know. It could have happened. Stranger things have happened. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they weren't just coked out at 9 a.m. in the Minnesota King that sleeps 4. That's just you making up, like, that's just a crazy headcanon from the internet. Anything could happen. Use your imagination. The police have to prove, which is true, they do actually. The police have to prove that she was possessing those drugs. But the problem with this case is there's 3 people that are charged. One of them must possess the drugs. The drugs don't possess themselves. That would be ridiculous. And even if you don't know for a certain fact that cocaine is in your house, even though you know that bleach is in your house, the drugs must belong to somebody. Let's be honest here. It's a bit weird that these drugs just teleport. I mean, but you could go with the Ethan Van Sciver defense, I suppose, and say it's those rotten kids and they brought the drugs into the house. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Ethan Van Sciver's right. The kids bought the drugs, and the parents, being good parents, confiscated the drugs and took them to the master bedroom. But they had to be sure it wasn't baking soda, because then their kids would both be victims of fraud. I guess. I mean, that could happen. So maybe they had to test them to make sure, and they're waiting for their Amazon delivered drug field test kit that isn't on their Amazon search history. And then the police just showed up at a really bad moment. You know, anything, like, use your imagination. What do you like? This lawyering stuff doesn't sound so hard to me. Just make up a good story, right? That makes perfect sense. But again, it's the police have to prove this story, right? Anything could happen. Anything could happen. I heard EVS was had a bit of a little coke-out event of his own. I need to check that up. I haven't checked up on the footage of that. I know the Keno Casino covered it, but I haven't caught up on everything because there's too much content at the moment, and it's I'm getting behind. I need like a solid 5 hours or something to catch up on shit. But anyway, those are all crazy internet theories, like sleeping 4 to the bed. That's just ridiculous. Anyway, since the complaint makes no allegations that the defendant possessed any illegal drugs, but merely she was present in the house at the same time, she should be missed for lack of probable cause. The Fifth and Sixth Amendment requires that a complaint sufficiently apprise the defendant of what he must be prepared to meet. Russell v. United States. The complaint provides insufficient information to allow defendant to form a defense and should be dismissed. At a minimum, she is entitled to a bill of particulars ordering the government to clarify the charges with details sufficient to her to understand and respond to them. A bill of particulars serves to inform the defendant of the nature of the charge against him with sufficient precision to enable him to prepare for trial, to avoid or minimize the danger and surprise at trial, and to enable him to plead his acquittal or conviction in bar of another prosecution for the same offense when the complaint is too vague and indefinite. The district court, in its discretion, may order the government to provide requested additional details where the particulars set out in the complaint fail sufficiently to apprise the defendant of the charges and enable him to prepare a defense. The complaint alone will be sufficient when the elements of defense are delineated and the general statement is accompanied by the specific facts constituting the offense. It is axiomatic that a defendant is entitled to know the what behavior is alleged to constitute the defense he is charged with. Ordering a bill of particulars detailing the elements of the 3 counts and the specific facts, establishing those factors. Minnesota rules of criminal... What the fuck? Did the font just change? Wait a second. I guess they copy and pasted something here? Was that a weird font change? It must... What's going on here? Did they just copy and paste something? This is some sloppy work. Like, am I the only one seeing this, or is this a different page? No, this is 0.1, right? What's going on here? Someone needs to... Did somebody give up halfway on this and then someone else started writing the same one? Am I having a stroke? I may be having a stroke. I may be having a stroke. Show the Zoom court again. Just go back to the stream. Go back to the stream to the beginning, play it at 1.25 speed, and then you'll catch up by the end of the stream properly. Minnesota rules of procedure time for motions at any time during the pendency of the proceedings. An objection may be made to the court's jurisdiction over the offense, or the charging document fails to charge an offense. The defendant, for these reasons, respectfully requests that the court grant her motion to dismiss the complaint for lack of probable cause, to dismiss the charge on the grounds that there does not exist probable cause to believe that the defendant committed an offense charged in the complaint, and per Rule 11.04, given the facts disclosed by the record, it is not fair nor reasonable to require the defendant to stand trial. To suppress any and all evidence taken as a result of confessions, admissions, or statements in nature of confessions made by the defendant, together with any evidence obtained as a result of confessions, admissions, or statements in the nature of confessions made by the defendant, on the grounds that any such evidence may in any manner would be in violation of the defendant's constitutional and statutory rights, including the fact that police continue questioning her without a Miranda rights warning while in custody. Now, I actually agree with this. I think it's bullshit that the cops can Mirandize you and then they keep asking you questions. I think that's absolute bullshit, and I think that should be excluded, because I think the cops should be held to a standard where they don't try and play these silly bugger rules. Like, I don't want to hear any shit about my lawyer dog, and they say, well, they asked for a lawyer dog. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. That's some bullshit to me. That's some bullshit to me. And anyway. For a combined evidentiary and contested probable cause hearing in advance of trial pursuant to Florence v. Now, apart from the weird font shift, this seems like a pretty good document so far. I don't think that... you know what I think? I think April is going to be offered a plea because she's the most likely to get away from this court case. Somebody's going to have to take the rap for the drugs. It's most likely going to be Nick as the owner of the house, or... I guess Nick and Kayla, but they do have separate proceedings. Maybe one will take the fall. Who can say? But April does have the best chance of getting away with it, in my opinion. And yeah, this looks, apart from the weird font shift here, which I assume is from copying and pasting things between different documents, it seems pretty good. Let's now jump into... let me see what I want to do next. Okay, we'll jump to when Nate the lawyer... Oops, no, sorry, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I need to jump into when did Nate the lawyer start talking about the Lawtube secret? I think it's around here. I think it was 119.
And you can remove those, and
so we might just skip around here. That's not what I find.
Doing a ton of coke. So there's,
See, and I'm thinking about what you're just saying about attacking Poplin, and I think you can, because if he does know,
let's jump around.
You could really play, especially with the probable. You would be able to make an argument. He's always all the time. This is that's his stick, and he doesn't.
Actually, what we'll do is we'll use the transcript search. If it was loading, there it show transcript, and we'll search for Lawtube. I know Alyssa actually has a good clip of it, but it's only 2 minutes. And I want to listen to more than it. Otherwise, I would use that. Well, I actually search for money. Whoops. Let's switch to the chats. Let's try Lawtube. Oh my goodness, it's just searching through the chat comments now. Terrible. Alyssa Clips has a YouTube thing. Yeah, I know, but hers is only 2 minutes. I don't want to listen for a bit longer than 2 minutes. But I may use hers to... I know it's around here somewhere, but I'm not sure exactly where. Let me see. Blood Feud. Legal Mindset. I had it loaded before the stream, but then my internet started being funny. What are you guys talking about? All right, hold on.
Yeah, and you know,
but Nick is right though. He has when he's able to hobble on over to me.
Skipping forward.
Is that he hadn't hurt anyone yet. Crank Uger from the Young Turks said he since he did not hurt anyone as of yet, They shouldn't have
The transcript search usually works.
because and that's not self-defense.
For some reason,
Yes,
it's
of
only
course,
getting me
yeah.
the comments this time.
Because you don't have to wait till you're shot before you can defend yourself.
Yeah,
you can do it as long as it's imminent. There's the imminence you have to worry about.
So
Yeah,
you go into a bank and say, if you don't give me the money, I'm going to kill everyone, and the guard shoots you. It's not self-defense.
That's
what we're arguing.
That's what T likes.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, what I'll do.
All right, that
Yeah,
sounds like
well-
some bullshit.
What I'll do is I'll play the Alyssa Clips version. So thank you to Alyssa Clips, and then I'll use that to search for it on my second screen, so that the chat isn't calling me silly names or very mean, hurtful names.
Just so you guys understand, the thing that broke up the Lawtube cabal is money. When and
okay, there we go. Lawtube
now
cabal. That's what
thinking
it
back-
the attempt to basically unionize it, and I was like, oh boy.
No, you know what? I think people didn't realize. So
Yeah.
when Nick was doing Rittenhouse,
There we go. Found it. That was much easier. Look at that. So thank you to Alyssa. It's at 140, 124, 124.
you guys understand, the thing that broke up the Lawtube cabal is money.
I guess we could.
When and now thinking back,
The attempt to basically unionize it, and I was like, oh boy.
no, you know what? I think
The
people
cabal,
didn't
very
realize-
funny.
So
Yeah.
when Nick was doing Rittenhouse and
Yeah.
Johnny Depp and all these other things, having 10 lawyers come onto a stream and talk about the case is so valuable. Valuable because don't forget that's what blew up.
And I didn't see.
So Kurt and Sean realizing they weren't in the loop. This is actually true for uncivil law. He kind of got a bad deal out of this, but he did get something that is valuable. Sean joined Lawtube towards the very end, I believe, just before the implosion. I think he was you had a YouTube channel for like 2 months. I think Legal Vices got in towards the end as well, where they got in like late enough that they were able to establish a small brand for themselves. And get monetized on YouTube, but they weren't really in there long enough to reap the rewards. Towards the end of I think it was the Johnny Depp trial, Kurt started streaming by himself, and he did make a little bit of money, so he did actually make it on my list of Lawtube earners. But yes, they did lose a lot of potential earnings from this. Now, in Kurt's situation, he was able to get 100,000 subscribers very quickly, and I think I saw Kurt in the chat earlier. Yes, I did, of course. So I'm not sure if he's still here now. But he had a bit of a problem because just getting subscribers on YouTube doesn't guarantee that an audience is going to watch you. And you do get this situation where you have a lot of dead subs. And because he was he kind of switched around. He was on, how's it going, Kurt? He was on Nick's streams, and he was also on Alita, who is Legal Bites, right? So he got to about 100,000 subscribers very quickly. But then he went full-time YouTube before he had really established a proper streaming audience. So I think, and again, I'm kind of like, this is my headcanon. Maybe Kurt can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that a lot of Kurt's early stress with YouTube was related to having this large number of subscribers, but not having the revenue associated with that. Now, it seems like recently he's doing pretty well for himself. Like he seems to have figured out his stride, and I've seen a few of his streams and they seem to be pretty big. So it looks like he's doing well for himself. And he went through, I think, the best character arc in Lawtube, because he went from being like just a regular guy. Then he went through his villain arc where he was like copyright striking. Then he had the Megan Fox AutoZone arc. That was a fun one too. But now he kind of has really come up, and the redemption has been real. So I'm happy to see that Kurt is on the ups and ups. But I do feel that a lot of his early frustration was due to having this audience that he had garnered from Legal Bites' main audience, because she's doing very well now as well, which is interesting. But you have these big subscriber numbers, but not necessarily the audience to back it up. It's just like when you tell someone to go subscribe, they go subscribe out of, loyalty to the first streamer, but they're not necessarily going to actually show up in your stream, which can be obviously a challenge. 500 is, wait. This is just wrong. 500 viewers isn't a big audience. That's a big audience. If you think that isn't a big audience, start up a stream yourself and see how many people join. Now, it's not like big. I think that like to make streaming a career, you do need somewhere in the range of 500 to 1,000 live viewers concurrent on most streams. That seems to be the golden zone, at least for YouTube. But doesn't mean that streaming is just the only thing you do. You can also make a lot of money on the back end with clips. You can make a lot of money back on with like regular videos. And if you have a very loyal, dedicated follow base, you can definitely make a lot of money with a small audience. Now, if you have like obviously if like big stream names people like you see on like Twitch, it's much different. They have like tens of thousands of people, but that's the absolute top percent of people. If you can boot up a stream and get over 100 people, you're doing okay. Now, if you're doing the same stream over and over and over and over again and you're never growing, then you have a problem. But again, everyone's journey is different. So I wouldn't say that 500 is anything to scoff at. In fact, my normal numbers usually aren't over 1,000. It's just this particular topic. I would try streaming before you say that 500 isn't a lot of people.
Yeah. And I'm thinking if you are making, some of these guys are making 20, 30,000 a day, and you don't think about giving it to any of your, just at least saying, hey.
Now just keep this number in, because this number will be repeated a few times. $20,000 a day, and this is also backed up by what Andrew says on his stream, and also Nick himself says this in his own way. He says it in the name of a car. I think it was like a Nissan something or something, but it was a $20,000 car. And we're gonna check and compare these to Nick's statements in a second.
Hey, you know what? I know you're helping me. You're coming to my channel every day, helping me get these views and subs. It's not me. Just break off a little something, or even like a gift or something. But none of those people did that. And matter of fact, I think Nick even promised a couple of people.
Now, this is a crazy statement. Nick promised people, and I think Nate actually, does he say money here, or does he promise something? Because I think that is true.
To break them off a piece and never broke them off a piece.
Okay, so Nate implies they're going to break them off a piece. Doesn't necessarily state what. What is that piece going to be? Is it going to be like slightly used Baldo? Is it going to be a monetary gain? It seems like some people were very upset about what they received out of this deal.
Just to let everybody know, it was the thing that broke. The reason why
that's some hot goss I never heard.
Oh yeah. No, there's I don't know if he wants. Well, there's two people. I don't know if they want me to.
Two people now. Out of everybody you know, who do you think these two people are? And this is the two people is repeated. There's going to be a bit of repetition in today's stream because Andrew talks about the two people. Which two people do you think it was? Because I knew who one of them was just through my own intuition. The other person wasn't too much of a surprise, but makes a lot of sense. But that'll come back, so you can place your bets for now.
But they say they were promised by Nick a piece of some of the action, and then it disappeared, and they never got it. So, and that was the reason. That's kind of what broke everything up. So, and then I remember we were all arguing.
So BobTube says, brah, he said it on stream to fire the Lawtubers. He did, but he also said things behind the scene as well. And this happened multiple times. That's what's important. And in this stream where he talks about promising, and we're going to look at that clip in a second. So yeah, I see you're almost trying to catch me with a little thing there. He doesn't make this promise to two people. That is a very specific detail to add, right? Two people. Who are the two people that may feel that they're entitled to a piece of the Baldo Empire?
Doing over who, because then it was like the next trial, so it was like who would be a solo person to do the next trial.
Oh yeah, like I saw that. Well, that part,
this part they're talking about now,
that part got really.
So this, what they're talking about here, is a disastrous idea, in my opinion. What they're referring to is that if you remember the early days of Lawtube, and there was a big collage of people they have like the cute little photos, right, for it. If I search for Lawtube, it'll be the first thing that comes up. Lawtube cartoon, I guess. Let's have a look. There we go. Here we go. So this is the extended Lawtube cinematic universe. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Do you remember these people? Do you remember the entire cast and characters? I don't know everyone here. I don't know Lawyer No. I don't know Popcorn. Oh wait, no, that's Andy Sigdal, right? I know him, but I didn't realize Popcorn Pella. Let's see. I don't know who Boss Attorney Bree is. I've heard of Law Talk with Mike. I think I've seen a clip of his before, but I've never really seen his show. Colonel Kurtz, isn't she like a side character on the Kill stream now or something? She was doing like I want to say it was Marilyn Manson. James from Court, I don't know. Hogue Law, I do know. Apparently he's one of the very salty characters. I don't know who Behavioral Arts is. I like Andrea Burkhart. I want to check in on her stuff because she's covering Koberger. Psychology in Seattle, I don't know. The Truth Doctor Show, I don't know. Attractive Nuisance, I don't know. Nurse Liz, I don't know. And I've heard of Natalie, the lawyer chick. I think she got A-logged by Branca into getting him a new watch or something, as I recall. Anyway, this is the extended cast of the Baldoverse. Well, no, this isn't the Baldo. This is the Lawtube, sorry. But a lot of these characters are also Baldoverse characters. There is 3 really big key players here. Maybe we need to get out the old crime lab and take a look. Get out some of the old red lines and paint and everything, you know. Can we do this? Can I not copy this image and then? There we go. There we go. Let's make it like this. And let's go like this. And let's go like this. And that wasn't what I wanted. Okay. Can I transform this and make it larger? Surely I can. Transform. Resize. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'll pretend this is how I want it to look anyway. Okay, this is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay. So like this is a bit of a Lawtube quiz for you guys. Who do you think are the 3 main players in this power struggle? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Of course, we have. Oh, that's not a very good pen. I should be better at this. Of course, we have the Baldo in chief down here, Rekietalaw. He was one of the key players. He was one of the key players. Joe? No, Joe's not a key player. He's a capo. He's a capo of Rekietalaws. We have Legal Bites over here, one of the key players, but also an up-and-comer from the Baldoverse. She showed up, I believe, Legal Bites and Legal Mindset were the first 2 people. Joe was on a stream before them, actually, but they were kind of the first people that started doing the court watch thing. There's a very famous clip of them, of just the 3 of them, actually. There's one more person here, and it is Emily DeBaker. These are the 3 biggest players during the Rittenhouse, and well, there's a couple other people. But in the Lawtube sphere, these are the 3 largest people that were doing content around the Rittenhouse and Johnny Depp case. And Nick and Emily were of a similar size, and they had a similar trajectory. It's actually very interesting to look as a case study to see how much the Baldo has fallen while how much Emily has risen. And Emily is doing incredibly well now. And if Nick had just kept his shit together, he would be doing the same as her. Now, Legal Bites, Alita, she got embroiled in drama very quickly, but she came out like an absolute bandit during the Lawtube early beginning days. So there were these like 3 kind of mainstreams, and of course people did stream on the other channels, but you had these 3 kind of hubs. And so like you'd have Joe would go on Rekietalaw, but he might jump around and go on Legal Bites, and they would kind of garner subscribers and views from other people. But the schism began between Nick and Alita, the Snake Bites. So we have this problem here, right? And this is where the drama really began. And during this, there was all these side characters, and some of them are major players now. But these were all side characters that were getting paid in exposure only, and they were being promised maybe something more. Now, someone, and I believe it may have been, well, let's just say maybe it was one of the greedier Lawtubers suggested, and I don't know exactly who this origin of this idea was suggesting that they do a Lawtube calendar. So you'd have like, you'd choose a certain group of people. So let's say like 1, 2, 3, 4. And instead of just hosting everything on Nick's channel, where he would rake in all the super chats, day 1 of the court case, they would go on Lawyer You Know. He would rake in all the super chats that day. Then Legal Vices would be day 2, and he would rake in all the super chats that way. And Runkle of the Bailey would be day 3, and etc., etc., and etc., so that everyone would have their fair share, their communism of super chats. This is a terrible idea, and the idea was only suggested by people who knew that they couldn't hold a stream by themselves and get any money whatsoever. So they were trying to find a way to increase their own value when they had not yet earned the support of their audience. So it was a very, very sad idea, and it was an idea that was spawned by greed. And it makes sense. Like, I can understand, like, being paid in exposure is kind of bullshit, right? But in some cases, it is okay, right? But this is where the fractures started to begin in the Lawtube extended universe. And speaking of super chats, though, Blazy says with a 5, we need Meme and Sean streaming from Stonies during the stream. I unironically do want to go to Stonies because it's just been memed into my brain. But it's too far away. It's too far away from me. And I can get $2 cans in my country. In fact, $5 would literally buy me 5 cans of drinks in Japan, because the price of living in Japan is incredibly low, which is astounding because of how amazing the country is. But some people have told me that actually Japan is not a great place, and India is much better, which is incorrect, very incorrect. So I'm going to bring up, and I did talk about a bit of this with my stream today on Legal Mindset stream. So if you want to see more of, if you want to see like the court drama in particular, I would really recommend Sean Potentially Criminal. He had a great stream today. Obviously, we did watch parts of it. But if you want to hear more about the background of it, like the actual drama of it all, I would recommend Legal Mindsets, where he talks about some of the details, because he's been sharing some of the deets. But as I said when I was on Legal Mindset stream earlier, I had 2 videos. And these are kind of the first videos I published that really got any traction. So I had actually... So back about 2 years ago, May 31st, I had one video called Legal Bytes is Censoring Critics with DC-made Takedowns, because Legal Bytes had an apology video after she had a bit of a Lawtube boo-boo, and somebody decided to re-upload it in its entirety. It wasn't fair use, and she copyright striked them. And then I decided, as a small channel, to prove that she would not copyright strike someone that was transforming it in fair use. So I decided to play the video of her. I made fun of her, and I dared her to copyright strike me, and she did not, because obviously my video wasn't fair use, which is the way to go with things. Now, you can get false strikes even if you do use fair use, but this is another story for another day. But there was these 2 videos that I made. That one was called This is How Much Money Lawtube Makes in Super Chats, which is an interesting video. And this covers mostly the Rittenhouse trial. So if we... Why do I have to watch an ad on my own video? So if we go to this video, this is and there's a very interesting little detail on this video. So this is my video from back then, and this is using exclusively data from Playboard, I think it was. So this is this is very, very accurate. I think I have a grand total somewhere. This week's Super Chat. So Emily DeBaker, I think, was the winner there. She made $98,000 in Super Chats. Did I not have a grand total? Did I have a grand total? I guess I didn't include a grand total on this, but I can go through and talk about it. Let's see. On this one, I said that DUI lawyer guy made $12,000. Rekieta made $52,000. Hogue Law made $3,000. Nate the lawyer made $2,200. Viva Fry made $2,000. And this doesn't include Rumble stuff. It was actually, did Rumble exist back then? Legal Bytes made $68,000. And then I have a bit of a funny ad for Burn Cream. And then, yeah, Emily DeBaker made $98,000. So this was like the first big trial, and these are the big 3 players in this court case. Now we're going to jump over to the second video. So this video is actually, no, I need to say one more thing. So this video was my first sort of video that kind of did anything big. I don't know why it says Fairfax. Oh, I guess that's where the trial is being held, right? And I had a very interesting pinned comment by Rekieta Law, and you can see there I pinned it. It's been pinned for the last 2 years, and this is back when I liked Nick quite a bit. He gave me a lot of interesting information, and he says that these Playboard figures are only part of the story. YouTube takes 30% off the top. Apple also takes 30% off if it's made from Apple devices. $10 super chat from iPhone usually pays a streamer $4.90, and he also goes into some ad revenue. Now, this is actually outdated now, but I've used this data to calculate my second part video, which is very, very good, I think. It's called This is How Much YouTubers Earned During the Johnny Depp Trial. So let's take a look at that one. There's actually like some shocking figures, because the top 2 earners weren't actually anyone from Lawtube. But if we go into this video, there we go. I actually go through both I go through the super chats, the YouTube cut, the Apple tax, stream ads, YouTube premium. It does not include any sponsorships, obviously, because it's impossible for me to know that. But if we go to the end, I do have a write-up. I do have a tally. There we go. All right, so you can see that Law and Crime, they made an insane amount just through views alone. And I estimate that to be somewhere in the range of $6.5 million. Asmongold is a little bit harder to determine. And you'll be like, why is he there? Well, because he got more money than anybody else in Lawtube. He made $3.5 million in my estimations. It's very difficult to deal with Twitch, though, so I'm least confident about that number. But you can see that the 3 big Lawtube players are Emily DeBaker, $270,000 is what I estimated. And I've talked to some Lawtubers, and they have told me that these numbers are maybe a little bit low in some cases. But in most instances, it's about within 5 and 10%. But you can see the three biggest Lawtubers were Emily DeBaker, $270,000. Rekietalaw, $232,000. Legal Bites, $200,000, and the Umbrella Guy, Tug, he was in there as well with $135,000. Now, while he's not a Lawtuber, he was kind of like an interesting side character because he was covering Amber Heard for quite a while, and he was also a target during the lawsuit. But he wasn't really Lawtube. He wasn't really Lawtube, but he was making a lot of money by himself. But now that you can see the numbers that these people were making, you can maybe understand the animosity that if you're like, let's say you're a Good Logic, for example, right? You're Good Logic, you're going on, you're putting in the same amount of time as Nick, 8-hour days or something. You're watching him rake in $20,000 of super chats a day, and you start to think, well, why didn't I just do that by myself? I was with Nick the entire time. Surely I'm entitled to even 20% or 10% or something, or just the tip, right? I'm sure Americans love to take just the tip. And even if it was just 10%, that would have been $23,000. That's nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of money, right? That's a lot of money. Yes. Kurt did not make the dating tape. That was a parody video that he copyright struck, but he released the claims, and the Datamax video that Kurt's referring to is actually an excellent example of fair use. And some of my first streams are talking about that. But you can maybe understand why some people were a little bit jealous. You know, they're a lawyer. They went through law school themselves. They put in this work. They're making the chat laugh. They're interacting with Nick. They're sticking with him through the entire day. And then maybe the after stream party, because a lot of streams after it ends, people will still talk for another 30 minutes or an hour, you know, just chilling out. Or I guess some people would be hitting on their female guests. Couldn't be me, but one of these people on this list did that. Yeah, one guess who it is. You guys know who it is. All signs point to Baldo. But you can understand that people were seeing a bit of green. They were seeing the green that Nick had, and they were getting upset. Which brings us to the interlude with Nick himself. I had that loaded up for sure. Okay. So actually, we'll do it from which is the best one. I guess this one is the best one. Actually, hold on a second. What I'll do, give me a second. What I'll do is I'll load up the actual tape. There it is. So Malcolm X just responded. Malcolm X posted the clip that we just watched with you've got Kurt there, Sean there, and Nate the lawyer. And this is where Nate says that 2 Lawtubers were promised something, but they was not delivered. Not so. And then Malcolm X, who again, good source of, he's probably one of the chief A-logs actually. I think there's 2 people on Twitter that have given Nick an infinite amount of stress, and again, it is Malcolm X and Rekieta or Baldo, Breaking Baldo News. But he says, huge admission from Nate the lawyer on Lawtube Sean's stream. He alleges Nick Rekieta had lawyers appear on his stream and made huge profits, promised them a cut of the action, and never paid them what he owed. Like he didn't pay Monty the $300 that he owes him. Is anyone surprised? Doesn't surprise me. If you're surprised, let me know. Put a 1 in the chat if you're surprised, a 2 if you're not surprised. But also like the stream because we need to get those loiks. That's the only thing I grift for currently. Nick responded to this. He broke out of the bunker slumber and he said, this is false. Highly disappointed to see the jealousy and outright false claims from people I helped to make thousands and thousands of dollars. Nate the lawyer, this is shockingly low. Oh my goodness, that's quite a call out. And then we have the person that was commenting on that. But oh wait, hold on a second. There's more to this. There's more to this. This isn't quite that's not quite the clip I had, but it is related to that one. Here we go. That brings us to this clip. So Dermy Wormy says, here's a clip from the jury deliberation day 4 of Kyle Rittenhouse trial. So this is the first trial, the one that didn't, they even made less money on this trial. They made like twice as much basically on the next one. Well, that's not true actually. The super chats were the only stat that I included in the first video. So let's have a listen to this 1-minute clip and look at how young and fresh people are. Look at how young and fresh people are. Look at this. It's the early Lawtube. Look, you've got Rekietalaw. and his nice clean house. There's no pugs hidden in the fridge, or not the fridge. There's no pugs hidden in the bathroom. Legal Bites is smiling. You've got Uncivil Law. He's in the bathroom, I guess. You've got Andrew in his evil villain arc, where he's wearing black suits and he's in the Korean apartment that's so cold that he's chilling bottles of soju and Jack Daniels on the window. I remember that. These were good days. This is back when I was just a wee audience member. You got Ty Beard, the man that fucked up the notaries. You've got Hogue Law, the man that became very, very angry at Nick later on and was a staunch supporter of Legal Bites. And you've got the Quartering, who quit drama entirely and just began selling coffee. Very interesting turn of a story. But let's see what they say.
We brought in almost an entire Nissan Sentra worth of super chat.
Almost an entire Nissan Sentra. Now, according to my research, the average price of a Nissan Sentra is $21,000. So again, Sean's stream, they said $20,000. Again, they're repeating it. We brought in $20,000.
Chats today, which is it blows my mind.
That's
I
a nice
appreciate it,
vehicle.
and I will be. I know that my panelists have all fielded this question, so I don't have to. But they do not. There's not like a fee sharing arrangement or anything like that. But I am contemplating how to maybe provide something.
Okay, so he's contemplating maybe providing something. So if we're gonna get out our lawyer hats right now, to be fair, Nick was accurate. He was only contemplating maybe giving them something. So he never promised them anything.
Very nice for all of them, because I appreciate very much how much they elevated this show. Again, it would have just been drunk crying into a microphone for 3 weeks, which would have been embarrassing. And instead we got really, really smart discourse from really, really great people. And so know how much I appreciate everyone. And I will be contacting each of you for some instructions on how I can get you something.
Okay, so to be fair, Nick was right. He did not promise them money. In fact, they should have checked their mail, because they do actually have a yearly membership to the Jelly of the Month Club coming in, and that's the gift that keeps giving all year round. So to be fair, he didn't promise them money. But if we're going to be honest, if we're going to be real for a second, when you hear this, hey, I just made $20,000 a day on day 4 of jury deliberation, and you say you've elevated the panel, you've made this better, I'm going to contact you privately for a way to reward you. I think that the common understanding of this is that it was going to be a substantial reward. And I think in Sean's stream, he says it doesn't have to even be that much, maybe maybe $500. What if you've got like 500? You've got 5 panelists or something, right? $500 each. That's $2,500. That's not even 10. That's not even 10%. Wait. Yeah, that's like that's not even 10% of what he brought in over the entire trial. I think that it's quite reasonable to assume that he was talking about some sort of monetary reward here, even though technically he didn't say money. He said thank them somehow. So I guess it is he lawyered his way out again. Congratulations, I guess. So he said, and this is what I think goes on inside of Nick's brain. So for him, this makes perfect sense, right? And he says, yes, and I did exactly what I said. Okay. So what did he exactly say? He said he would maybe contemplate rewarding them somehow. Okay. I guess case closed then, right? But someone said, I guess he forgot, and he said I didn't. What he gave them is unknown. I guess he decided that exposure was just enough. But come on now. The amount of greed, the absolute greed, is on display. And I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be a communist utopia. I don't think they should divide up but if you say you're going to reward your friends who provided you something that generated you this much money, maybe cut them in for something. This is a good question, and I will answer this. Why didn't you ask Andrew what he gave them? So I am friends with several people behind the scenes in Lawtube. Sean, Andrew, Legal Vices, and some other people. But I don't like to use my friendship to leverage information to use in a public platform. If Andrew's my friend and I ask him something, he might think that I'm asking him in confidence or asking him as a friend. And I am then to take that information and then dish it out. I feel that is an immoral thing to do. And there has been times, like for example, Sean on his channel has said that he has seen photos of the Rekieta Baldo manor that are very dirty. And people have asked me, have I seen those pictures? No, I have not. And I have never asked Sean for those pictures because I do not want to leverage my friendship to get these sort of results. I don't think that's a good thing to do. You think that's a Rekieta answer? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I would feel improper doing that. I know you guys want the content, you want the details, but unless they volunteer the information, I'm not going to try and put them into a position where they might feel pressed. Now, if it's someone that isn't my friend, it's a different story. But it's someone that I do consider a friend, then I don't want to put them in an awkward position. I always forget the first part of this person's name. Ariak the Red with a $2 says, Andrew was obviously streaming from his toilet. They did used to call it the toilet room. Now, I think there's a little bit more to the stream. They're going to jump over to, then we're going to jump into.
Yeah, we're going to organize this, and we're going to have that's, you put a bunch of lawyers in a room, all they're going to do is start fighting, and that actually was a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, there's a lot of hurt feelings during the whole Johnny Depp thing.
Oh,
yes, there were.
Oh no, Kurt, the hurt feelings.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All over a couple of both who are both lunatics.
So. Yes, that's what we need. We need but the thing is that, and we all thought there would be another Johnny Depp trial, but there just hasn't been.
There'll be another one.
But it's like, how many years are we after Depp?
Yeah, how long we have to wait?
So this is another idea that they were going to trial. They were going to rotate from trial to trial.
There'll be something.
Why isn't it pausing? There we go. There it is. There will probably never be something as big as the Johnny Depp trial ever again. There'll be big trials though. Don't get me wrong. But the Johnny Depp trial was like a perfect storm of the celebrity nature of it, the Me Too nature of it, and also just the ridiculousness of Amber Heard. I don't think we're going to see something like that ever again. Oops. Okay. Well. Let me see. Can you confirm if anyone got anything without details? Yeah or no? I can confirm that, to my knowledge, nobody received anything. And Andrew's going to talk about that later when we look at his stream, which I think we'll go to right now, actually. So again, so we're jumping from potentially criminals stream. So I'm going to close that window because I need to save some of my RAM, apparently. And he did a stream today about 11 hours ago, which is, it's popping off to about 30,000 views. Rekieta meltdown intensifies, exposed DM, Omnibus fail, and Lawtube schism. Now, I think, again, there's going to be a bit of repetition. And I think the chat window, so the multiple chat windows, I think that is screwing up my thing. Hold on a second. I'll close the chat. This is when they're looking at the same clip that we just watched, but it's on the illicit clips version, the 2-minute version. But Andrew dropped some details here that are very interesting.
Are you going to strike Alyssa? Are you striking Alyssa for doing this?
No.
Are you ever going to strike Alyssa, Sean?
No.
Okay.
Never.
I think it's
and
here
honestly,
anyway.
I'm
We might
not
have to do some
gonna
more
lie. Last
sketching.
night when I was going through all Nick's stuff, I was hoping he'd try to fuck with me. I just kept fucking airing it, you know.
You got a little bit of a come for it, Nick.
I wanted to see. It was fucking man or mouse time, Nick. You know, you wanted to be about the copy strike life.
Poking the Baldo.
Let's see what you got.
Big ups to Alyssa. Yeah, big ups to Alyssa. And who are the other clippers I know? I've seen a few Doom clips recently. Although last time I didn't see it. I know them, but no, I didn't know. Doom clips. Will Heron's doing some good stuff. Stalin 19, I believe that guy is doing some good stuff, and Alyssa especially.
Okay. There you go.
Just so you guys understand, the thing that broke up the Lawtube cabal is money.
I love that. Also, he acknowledges it was a fucking cabal.
I wish, John, but no.
That's the appropriate word for it is cabal.
Like, I remember I got into this, and this is the problem of my life. I always get into groups when they fall apart.
Yes.
I'm always that guy. Like, I join something like, oh, this is great. I'm like, oh my God, it's burning down. I got it. And there was this massive DM. There was this massive Twitter DM on Law. I think I still have it from my one account that got unbanned.
Was that after I burned the house down with Legal Bites?
It was around that time anyway. Before that, you were in it too. But all these people were in it. And I was like, holy shit, this is insane.
So if you're kind of wondering what happened, is that hold on, there we go. So again, there's a bit of delay when I pause it for some reason. I think it's because I need to reset my PC. So Andrew was a bit of an instigator in the early Lawtube days, and not necessarily by his own actions, but just because of the sensitivity of Lawtube as a whole, which is very surprising to me because Law is such an adversarial job, right? Like in many negotiations, you've got customers buying things from vendors and things, and both people are happy because you've got your product, they've got their money, etc. But in particularly in litigation, courtroom cases, you have a 50% win-fail rate in any two given lawyers, right? So they're always constantly battling and constantly yelling at each other, either through documents or through just their arguments. So it really surprised me to see how thin-skinned these people are. Not all of them. Some I assume are good people, and you know the ones that I think are good people. But what happened is that, as we mentioned earlier, Legal Bites, as she was she was a bit of a queen bee, and she had a lot of orbiters, and you can kind of decide who those people are for yourself. But she kind of split Lawtube in two. And it was well, actually, the split was kind of like between Nick versus Legal Bites, and Emily the Baker was doing her own thing. I don't think everybody liked Emily, but she was just doing her own thing, going her own way, and staying out of all the drama, and she's just perfectly fine. So it was really just between the people that liked Legal Bites and the people that liked Nick. And this all kind of started. There's all these like details behind the scenes, but it seemed to kind of really go off the rails at the Legal Bites wedding. And I think the only people that I really know that went to the wedding was, I think Good Logic went. I'm pretty sure Uncivil Law went. And I'm pretty sure Legal Mind, absolutely legal. So I'm pretty sure these three people went to her wedding. Now, apparently, as if you'll have to see the next, you'll have to see Andrew's stream to see the whole context of this. There was a big struggle session. If you wanted to go to the wedding, you had to declare your loyalty to Legal Bites, because Legal Bites' husband was very unhappy about Nick's statements and treatments of Alita, his where is she from? Lithuanian wife. And I've heard some very funny stories about her husband, actually, but I won't go into that just now. Uncivil War says it was a good wedding. I believe there was like an escape room, right? It sounded like fun, I guess. But they had a wedding. There were some nice photos you can check up on if you really want to. Maybe there were some other characters there. I can't remember. These are the only three people that I remember. But very soon after that, the details started to come out about these private conversation struggle sessions inside the Alita compound. And as the fractions started to separate, the drama really came out. And one of the hot players in this drama was Legal Mindset, of course, as he was kind of going on his blonde women must suffer arc, I guess, where he was going after legal. Well, not maybe really going off, but he was getting into very feisty conversations with Legal Bites and Farron and some other people. It was an entertaining time. I'm not going to lie. It was an entertaining time. But that kind of brings us back to here, where
you're trying to. It was almost like a Luciano trying to bring like a commission together. We're gonna run all the mafia together, and you know it doesn't.
Yeah,
like,
the
mafia doesn't.
There was not only was there the super chat earning mafia after what's his name, DUI guy. So DUI, that was actually another part of the drama. Actually, I forgot about. The story is rich and deep, and you have to be following for this guy over here, legal DUI guy. He went to the Johnny Depp trial and he bought someone's ticket to stand in line. And then the court, there was a guy from TMZ that made like a really salacious statement. Not salacious, actually. It was just a very scandalous statement. And you could see DUI guy in the back going something, he was making a funny face. And there was a big argument about maybe we should kick out DUI guy, get him out of Lawtube because he's a naughty boy. You can't go to a courtroom and make faces. How you're discouraging the integrity of the legal profession. And as you remember from the little Joe saga we had a few weeks ago, Joe was very hot to try and ask about that DUI guy drama, but they decided, Runkle of the Bailey shut him down and said, no, shut up, Joe, don't talk about that. So good on Runkle. I like Runkle. He's like the elf of Lawtube. Canadian guy, supports gun rights, seems like a pretty cool dude. But anyway, when this happened, many of the players in Lawtube decided that they wanted to pull up the ladder. And they were like, there was literally, you can actually find a stream clip of them saying, hey, maybe we should stop accepting people into Lawtube. The Lawtube extended universe is getting too big. We need to stop this right now. And that's actually where our friend of the stream and a guy that I like, who has his own PS5 now, Aussie Overlord. Aussie Overlord was essentially the last official character to be added to the Baldo, not the Baldo, but the Lawtube universe, because he was at that time going by the name of the Law Patrol, and he messaged people when he heard the statement of the stream, maybe we should close the ranks and pull up the ladder. He was like, "Can I get on the ship before it departs?" And he was the last official member to be added to the cast, but he didn't make it on this picture. So I'll draw a little Aussie Overlord. Here you go. He's a I'll try and draw a kangaroo. This is not going well. I wish I didn't do this. How the fuck do you draw a kangaroo? We got like there's a big leg. Here we go. He's got a pouch, even though female kangaroos had pouches. There you go. There's Aussie Overlord. Don't send him that. We don't need to talk that. We don't need to talk about that. Stop saying LOL in the chat. We don't need to talk about that. Hey, look, Grimsbar said Drex trying to dox my husband. Pics in BG. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Don't know what that means. But thank you for the two. Thank you for the two. Anyway, so that's when they decided that it was time to close the ranks after the DUI guy made the soy face in courtroom. So not only was there talk about controlling the money, but there was also talk of controlling who would be allowed to be a Lawtuber, which is very cringe. Like, people like, you can't just start a YouTube channel and talk about the law. This man is not even does someone check his legal profession? But there was a very cringe statement that was specifically coming out of the Legal Bites camp. Nick from the beginning, and this is back when people liked Nick quite a bit, was saying that groups are gay and that you shouldn't join gay groups like Lawtube, and he was right about that. He was very much right about that. He used to say some things that made sense, just none of his legal takes. So let's continue to see what Andrew and Sean are saying about this.
You put a bunch of lawyers in a room. You don't tell them what to do, and it kind of fell apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole point. It's like, you should have known from the beginning you weren't going to get a bunch of lawyers to agree on like a money split. That's how firms break up, right? Like, and a lot of us worked in law firms. Well, some of us did, right? Nick never did, but from what I understand, right? So, not like not a big firm, right? I mean, like, I
don't think he was his own cowboy.
Yeah. So he wasn't in a place where you're dealing with like 30, 40, 50 people, right? And there's he was just busy being and
they're still fucking nerds.
Thank you for that, for clipping that. Very based. I knew my clippers were going to get on it. I knew my clippers were
How's it going?
Thank you. But yeah, this was going down obviously after Depp, right? And this was like August, September, October.
Well, no, it already Depp it. Well, once the whole Larry thing happened.
The Larry thing happened, and then there was also the wedding, and then there was
but Larry at Depp, that was the Battle of Salo Heights, and the Russians were moving on Berlin right away.
Yeah,
some very, very nerdy law references, but I wish I knew as much about history as and battles as Sean did. But yeah, so we go back to the Johnny Depp earnings. You can see this is when the big money came in, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And remember, if we look at the Playboard rankings, the Playboard rankings can show the maximum amount of earnings, but they don't always show the minimum. That's an important factor, especially if you're a smaller channel, which is a mistake that some people have made when trying to analyze my channel, for example. But Nick has made over $1.4 million in super chats. That's the pie that's making people jealous. And that's just the super chats. That's not the Rumble contract. That's not the year-long local subscription. That's not the ad revenue. That's not the clip revenue. That's not any of that's all the stuff. Oh, okay, that's the Legal Bites versus Drex clip in Discord. Okay, I'll check that out when we kind of get to a point in the stream. Thank you very much. I remember that, though. I do remember that.
It was over at that point. I'm like, oh god, this
memberships.
That was the Kumbaya was over. The little fun anime picture with everybody together. It's like you'd have to draw a little Paul chart with X's over it for people that have left or died or they're gone off.
Yeah, and it was funny because at the time Richard Hogue was like, "Yeah, here's a thing where like everybody can sign up their signing rights over on this thing and like, you know, your waiver. And I was like,
all right, Nova, you're a little bit.
Yeah, fuck you, cuck. And he's like, ooh.
All right, Nova, you're 60% right as usual, Nova. Nick hasn't paid taxes on that money yet either. IRS lawsuit for the Grand Slam. Nick has paid taxes on a lot of his YouTube earnings, but his father did come to him and yell at him to pay his property taxes. There is no evidence to suggest he hasn't paid any of his taxes for YouTube earnings. In fact, there is evidence to the contrary of this, where he talked about exactly how much he was paying. And I believe it was in the 6 figures, which makes sense if he was getting over $1 million in super chats, right? But no, he's not actually tax-free. He's just always forgetting to pay for his property tax. But you know, maybe he's late this year. Who can say? But to say that he hasn't paid it on all of those chats, I feel is inaccurate.
And they got mad at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, nobody's doing.
well, no, but I just like I cut the thing out, and that's what I use as my fucking channel logo. So whoever that person is out there that made it, thank you so fucking much for giving it to me. Because I still think it's really cool, and I'll probably never. I was touched. I just like I'd been only doing it for like fucking a month. And
All right, Nova. I know you're a dirty Canadian, but surely you have at least one American friend. So you say trusting Nick at his word. As we remember from the thought audit, if you tell on somebody that has not paid their taxes in America, you can receive a portion of the bounty. So the thought audit was when people would look up the details of people on OF. Women that were selling their booty pics or their feet pics, and they were reporting them to the IRS and then receiving cash payouts if they got caught. So if you truly believe that Nick is evading his taxes, you and a friend could receive all the information from his super chats from Playboard, submit it to the IRS, and if they have truly not paid their taxes, you could receive 30% bounty or something in that manner, which is quite a lot of money, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. You could try that then. Why don't you prove me wrong and do that? What do you think Aaron is doing? What do you think that Aaron is doing to Nick? Oh my goodness. Holy shit. Is it? Don't say it. Is it another win for the toe? Oh my God.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it! He won't.
Also, yeah, it is a bit of snitch behavior. I don't approve of actually snitching to the IRS, but if Nick is actually doing it, then that would be very funny. Sorry, if Aaron is doing that, that would be a funny result, but I don't think it's going to happen. Dataland with a 2 says tax-free, bitch. It's like you guys don't even want to hit the goal. You don't want to hear the tax-free. Cats don't fold the bullshit. Nova says Aaron beat me to it. Well, thank you very much. That's Canadian money, so that is tax-free. But you do get free healthcare in the form of a very nice, comfortable sleeping pod at the end of your 6-month wait for painkillers. Oh, Mandy. Oh, fuck, is it muted? No, I unmute. I pressed the button. I pressed the button. I pressed the button. It should have been unmuted. It's not my fault. The StreamYard lagged. All right, we'll go back. We'll go back. All right, you guys felted me. Okay. That's another L for me.
Then I got included, so.
Yeah.
All right, we went back. Okay.
Unhung Hero said, don't forget Mandy. Oh, we never forget Mandy.
Mandy.
And I covered,
There
if
we
you
go.
want to see more about Mandy, that's the degeneracy timeline. I talk all about that when I cover that.
Mhm.
I still get people that swear that Mandy is real. And they're like, no, there's a real Mandy. They show up in, who is it? Like,
So the reason that people keep telling that Mandy is a real woman is that if they come to the realization that Mandy's not real, then that means that they beat off to a man, and therefore they are less than straight. We'll call it. That'll do. So that's why the Mandy cope still exists. But that's another fun little saga in this whole tapestry of life destruction. Self-immolation of your own successful life. And there you go. AG Biochemist with a member for 1 month says, oh man, yes, if you join as a member, you also get 1 free member chat a month, which you should save up until Legal Vices is on the stream, and then you can make fun of him and make an illicit clip out of him or something. Just joking. I might be seeing Jeff next month. Who can say?
Some small streamer that's like, oh, there's a female in this, some small streamer things called Mandy. I'm like, listen, bro, no, stop getting Buffalo Bill. It's fine. The content lasagna says if illicit clips was named Tyrone Clips, he'd
Hey, and if you join as a member, you get access to all the emojis as well as Discord access.
Clips.
Yes. Also, I sent you. I still had it, so if you wanted to bring it up for people, they know what we're talking about. Yeah, I just sent it to you.
Oh yeah. And this is all over the place. In fact, you can just Google Lawtube, and this image will.
It does. Oh.
Yes.
Make fun of Kurt instead. He rubbed icy hot on his back, and it looks like he's putting it up his bum. Come on, man. I think Kurt's okay. He's a little bit odd, but aren't we all? Aren't we all? We're all a little bit nerdy at heart.
If you were to Google Lawtube, this image would come up. So let me pull this up right quick.
Look, Kurt can take a joke. Look at that. I love people that can take a joke. He can take a joke.
So just so you guys know what we're talking about, this was a something that was done absolutely for free. Nobody commissioned.
Jessica, 70 months says I'm using it now since I sleep when you stream.
Drew us all like anime style here. So you've got like Lawyer Legal Vices, Runkle, Legal Bites, Joe, Good Logic, Popcorn Planet, who's not a lawyer. I don't know why.
I'm going to skip forward a little bit on this because we've.
I guess because we're coming Boss Attorney Bree and Champion. I have my headphones on. Colonel Kurtz, Rekieta Emily D. Baker. Talk about it. Behavioral art. Andrea Burkhart, Ron Coleman show. I don't know who that is. Attractive nuisance.
I noticed that Legal Mindset has, speaking about being jealous of people's earnings, I noticed that Legal Mindset has a Dragon's Treasure T code here, Mindset. And as a consummate jealous person myself, I will tell you that you should go to the Dragon's Treasure and use code COPE for 10% off your tea. Dragon's Treasure, a man that put his morals above his business when he decided that he wasn't going to stand for the outrageous Baldo allegations. He put his money where his mouth was. And now you should put his tea where your mouth is with code COPE. Buy some tea. And I believe they have coffee now, maybe. But I don't know.
Nurse Liz, Viva Fry, Law and Lumber,
still talking about
Natalie.
Okay.
That was it's like Full Metal Jacket with guns walking the earth.
All right. I think this is
really good days, bros.
Swinging
he came to Way City.
But you have to be careful because he's getting too many chats, so he has to go through them as well. So
NBA
there is something I want to talk about him in a second.
And we swinging dick, making a bunch of money. It was fucking great. Everyone's having a fantastic time. We're making our names for ourselves. We each kind of have our own style and brand, right? Whatever that is. So yeah, that fell apart when Sean joined.
Yes, it did. It did.
I like the Spike Man says the fact Nick sees my name in your stream makes me so happy. Rackets, you aren't the person you led a lot of us to believe. Yes. And he's watching this, Spike Man. He's seeing this yellow super chat.
I'm sure he is.
That he's not receiving
in a cloud of vape smoke.
The vape is pretty crazy.
Fat Andy for 9 that he doesn't inhale. He didn't fucking inhale the vape, Sean.
Yes.
He didn't.
You're worried about nerds and you're playing the douche flute, Nick.
Right. Fat Andy for
9. Oh my gosh. Hold on a second.
99 says, don't you think Rekieta only did his exclusive stream to pick this fight with illicit clips in his Coke Baldo too tight logic? Such slop that a messy counter looks like a tweaker's house. There is a theory, and Sean, I don't know what you think about this, that he's only doing all this drama to drum up interest in his show because that's all he's got left.
I don't agree with this theory. I'm not sure what Sean or Andrew think about it. But I think the idea that he loaded up the Cope stream the other night to drum up like hype is I think it's not a good theory. And I say that because he went to his private zone where very few people watching. I think that he was desperately low on dopamine and he was hoping that his hug box would supply him with that because he was running low on his own supply and he needed to get high off the supply, but it backfired. And I think it was so disastrous it'll be a while before he boots up another stream. The earliest I would think would probably be the election. That seems like to be the biggest payday for him and the biggest way he could appease his Trump and guns audience. Well, there's nothing wrong with Trump and guns, obviously, but that's just kind of a term that describes when he's too lazy to come up with a topic. He just talks about Trump and guns. But I would imagine that if he doesn't come back for the election, he's fucking done. Like, there's just nothing. There's just nothing that he can do. If he throws away the biggest story of the year, There has because he's been talking about how there's no trials discovered, but there's not. I mean, there is. There's Sarah Boone, the suitcase murderer. There's all sorts of interesting things. There's things happening all the time. Not quite as big or as prestigious as Rittenhouse or Johnny Depp, but there has been some absolute bangers and some real people putting in hours in their stream chairs, boots on the ground, and asses in the chairs. Billy Oakey with a 2 Singaporean dollars says the only thing Kurt can't take is a jab from Megan. Well, look, Megan had going to AutoZone to meet with chicks. That's the quality Megan advice. I think if there was an AutoZone in Japan, I'd probably already be married, right? DWAT member for 10 months says Trump 2024, get at it, bitch. Yeah, I think there's no way he doesn't lose. There's no way he does. Wait, no way he doesn't lose? That's a double negative. There's no way he doesn't win. There's no way that Trump doesn't win at this point unless the fix is in. Everybody's talking about him. Camilla's too cowardly to go on Joe Rogan. She said that she would let Joe Rogan interview her if he came to the White House and it was only an hour long and it was their pre-proved questions. Disgusting. Too lazy to go to Joe's house. Oh my goodness, in Texas. She wouldn't dare step foot in Texas. Everybody, even in Japan, people are talking about Trump. There's no way he does not clinch this one. Unless everyone is so positive that Trump's going to win now that they're so lazy. They're like, oh, well, I don't need to go vote. It's already a shoo-in. But you never know. You never know. There could be a November surprise, I suppose, as well as an October one.
All Nick's got left is that he is drama. That's all he's got.
I mean, and people want to watch to see what's going to happen. And yeah, I think it's great and it's important to know. But if you're going to do it, Nick, get on YouTube, man. Get out into the open.
Mm-hmm.
Eat those super chats up.
Someone mentioned on Locals for $1, C3 Metal mentioned, when did the Sonichu medallion enter Lawtube? I think that was
that
after
entered
Depp.
2023 after Depp.
That was Depp after post-Depp. Bo Beats Black Sheep says all that ego,
absolutely.
jealousy, and legal woes, parental responsibilities, and addiction under one roof. Do you ever worry this may end in a tragic manner? I do. Yeah, and once again, I hope it doesn't.
I've already got my own thoughts on that.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you about that. It's fine.
Yeah, that's you got to be careful with those topics. But yeah, Bald Eagle 1787 for 5 says
I will say it like this: I'm surprised there hasn't been a police report out of responding to a domestic disturbance.
Yeah,
that's
because
that's
when
dark,
you have multiple
bit dark
people in a house, this happens.
The hen house, like there are a lot of
hey, Platinum Lieber.
House,
that's a name I haven't seen in the chat in a while. How's it going? From the early
April
days.
And Kayla,
oh my goodness. It's like
Kayla's not getting active dick in the same
a reunion
fashion
episode.
when Aaron was in the house and they're sleeping 4 to a bed. There's gonna be some drama there because she's got to be free to pursue something else. And also when Kayla's new guy comes in and
which that's going to be a thing. That's exactly what I was going to say. At some point,
her new bull comes in, and it's not going to be Aaron, who's like relatively. Look, Aaron's a weirdo.
All right, what do you guys think about this? Is when we become autistic and start. What do you guys think about the face tracking camera? So this is a gimbal camera that follows you around the room. Preston had it when he was back when he would come. He wasn't too big for my stream. Preston would come on and we'd talk about his moving camera. Do you guys like the moving camera? I find it a little bit distracting, honestly. It is kind of neat at first glance, but if you're like zipping around, I find it a little bit strange.
But like, he's not that.
It's a gimbal character. Right? See how it's
he's
like
not
following?
Violent,
it's like
right?
tracking.
No, it's
like
just
face
somebody.
Tracking.
Well, more importantly, it's just Nick talks about wanting to fight people, and Nick, Nick, if you're out there, I understand this, dude. There are enough people out there who, the moment you mouth off, they'll rattle your fucking chiclets out of your skull, and they won't think twice about it. You start mouthing, and you're already going to be, ow, my face.
Well, that's how it works over here.
So Nick is a man.
Off somebody like
pause. Nick is a man that went to sign up for Taekwondo lessons, and he came back as a male cheerleader. So he's even admitted that he's afraid to fight Aaron Imholte. He's afraid to fight the Imhotep, the man that is so old and decrepit. He's practically a mummy, even though I'm 2 months older than him. But we don't tell him that. Daddyland with a 5 says, all hail God Emperor Trump. I voted for that beautifully man yesterday. Well, congratulations. Thank you for voting.
Or even a Korean, like they're not gonna rooster up and like talk shit. They're just gonna hit you. Like, so
this is true. Like people have been chasing Johnny Somali through the streets of Korea. It's very funny.
Right?
We
so
might
like
check out that on the
talk shit,
stream.
and they're gonna hit you, and you're just gonna get knocked out, right?
Yeah.
So like you're not gonna be doing this internet tough guy stuff for like like it's a UFC fight and you're doing the hype, right? That's not how it works.
Yeah, there's going to be no monkey dance beforehand where
And the
everybody
Singaporeans coming in
gets
hot with
fired
another
up. It's gonna be an ass
$2. It's a
whooping.
Shibi. I love my Shibi stickers.
Shadow Image, you said the hex
Thank you. That's
code of
their
this
third
dono
straight
will
chat.
trigger
Thank you very
Andrew's
much, Federal
fist
Agent.
traumatic stress disorder. Keck. Fuck, man. Fuck. Scarebro for $4.99 says, Scarebro said, did Nick stop trial stream because he didn't want to compensate people the past 8 hours or guests on other channels without compensation? No.
Okay, so I think this is
he stopped trial streaming because he couldn't do it. It's not because he couldn't pay people, although he never did.
It's not that he couldn't do it. He obviously could run a trial stream. It's that he didn't want to because it became work. Imagine working. Imagine not just having fun drinking whiskey all day. It became work. Sitting down in your chair, drinking $500 bottles of whiskeys a day, raking in $20,000 of super chat. It was much too work for his back. That's why he has the spooky skeleton S curve, as we saw from his trial appearance. And he just began to hate the trial. And he said this, he hates trials. He doesn't want to do trials. And then he disappeared for a while after the cocaine. And he was arrested, and he came back and he said, no, I love trials. I'm looking for a trial to get into. I just can't find a trial, even though there was like Alec Baldwin, which only lasted a couple of days. It would have been very easy. What currency is this? MNR. Where is that from? Is it true that Korean police are investigating Johnny? Yes. If he somehow gets away, I hope he comes to visit Malaysia. Oh, I guess it's Malaysian, right? Malaysian money. Thank you for the 15 there. Yes, it is true that they have been taking an interest in him. There's a very funny clip. I guess we could do a quick detour. Why not? Why not? The people that are only interested in Rekieta news, why not just stick around to make them see this? This is very funny little detail we got here. So what happened is Johnny is being currently, and I was going to save this up for like a Johnny Somali stream, but Johnny Somali is currently in the northern part of South Korea, which is around Itaewon or Seoul. And he's being pressed by the Koreans, and actually Korean fighters are looking for him. And in this clip, a Korean streamer calls Johnny's friend a particular word in front of Korean police. Now, it sounds very funny, but there is some context here. The Korean word for I, or the Korean word for you, is niga or nige, something to that degree. So as you can imagine, as a man of Somalian descent, he may be slightly confused when the police and when the streamer start calling him hey you, for example. So let's see what happens.
Digger.
It's worth pointing out this is spelt Naega. Okay, it's a Korean word.
You. Why? Okay, you face it. Okay.
He's like, no, you can't do that. In America, you couldn't do this. Say it to my face. Oh, the Koreans are bringing him in.
Okay.
You're lucky cop. This nigga let go.
Digger.
He's just saying you in Korean, guys. For anyone reviewing the stream, please give me that grade tech. It's okay. This is a safe for work stream. This is just a Korean word for you and I.
Say that. Look, he was saying you're lucky. You're lucky. You're being independent.
왜 네가? 내가.
Why are you not doing it? Get him.
네가 내가.
He's saying racial slurs.
네가 내가.
He's saying racial slurs. Get him.
Now, in my understanding, is that there is no such thing as hate words in Korea. In fact, you cannot arrest people for saying naughty words, which is very funny.
내가 왜?
He's really saying racial slurs.
내가.
Racial slurs.
You.
Racial slurs. That's not okay. That's not okay.
You face it.
So yes, the police are very aware. Like the police know what's going on here. Let's be honest. The police know exactly what's happening here, and they're just having fun because everybody knows that Johnny Somali is a see you next Tuesday. And the cops were laughing. They knew what was going on. But there is some context here. Legal Vices, Jeff, he lives in Busan and he speaks Korean. And he says, in regards to this clip, Johnny Somali pulled into a Gangnam police station. Is this the end? This one requires a little linguistic lesson. You in Korean is niga. And he's got the hangul for it there. I and me in Korean is niga, nega, which at the beginning, which is pronounced that way. But he doesn't imply that they're dropping hard R's. But when Johnny Somali starts crying intellectual slurs, the guy slips into saying, you, me, why. So it seems like people may be aware of what they were doing. But it's very funny. It's very funny, which is why I shot. All right, there you go. There's your quick Johnny Somali break. Hope that was worth your 15 Malaysian dollaritos. But yes, I think that Johnny Somali is currently... My understanding is he's trying to escape from Seoul, and he's going to try and take the train to Jeju Island, which is an island, so you can't take the train there. But I may be taking a boat to South Korea next month. I got to look at the plan. I'm very tempted to do it. I've been suggested that I do it, and I've been wanting to go for a long time. So who knows? I might even cross paths with him. You never know.
He never did.
We're going to get to that still. We're going to get to that.
We're going to get, I'm going to play it. But that said, it's not because of compensation, it's because he could not cut it. He could not cut it. He couldn't just sit there. Baldo Eagle. I got Baldo on the brain. Bald Eagle 1787 says, who the hell thought, sorry, Bald Eagle, for shaming you with it, such a degenerate device. Who the hell thought that they're trying to be socialist and having lawyers stealing money from other lawyers would go so horribly wrong?
So stealing is a strong word here. Like, obviously they were volunteering their time, and it's very funny. It's very funny to see that they didn't get their money. They didn't get their fair share. The UK is an island, and you can take a train there. You could, but you shouldn't.
Yes, socialism fails once again. Surprised. Yes. Sparky's text corner says, Madcore made this. I was there when he did. Yeah, and they used to do the Lawtube rankings, like they'd rank people and stuff like that. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was rankings over funny stuff, not who was right on a case.
Yeah. Scarebro said Nick will use his gun. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. As a felon, he cannot have his. Well, his guns were taken away because you cannot have guns and be under the influence in Minnesota. But it seems like if he gets convicted as a felon, he'll be banned from being an American. He won't be able to have guns and won't be able to vote, which would be very sad. Would you ever visit North Korea? Maybe. It depends. Depends how much North Korea is going to pay me. Everything can be bought, right? Every man has his price.
Let's go to this commentary from. This is once again from Nate the lawyer on when Lawtube fell apart. I'll just start.
So you guys understand, the thing that broke up the Lawtube cabal is money. When now thinking back,
the attempt to basically unionize it, and I was like, oh boy.
No, you know what? I think people didn't realize. So when Nick was doing Rittenhouse and Johnny Depp and all these other things, having 10 lawyers come onto a stream and talk about the case is so valuable. Valuable.
It is, and Law and Crime figured this out, which is why they do that now. It's a very easy formula to replicate, and they've been very successful doing that, despite the absolute cuckery that it does come out of Law and Crime. But they had to learn their licks as well. So it's kind of bizarre that it didn't come up sooner, really.
Because don't forget that's what blew up.
And I didn't see any of it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking,
Kurt, no.
If you're making,
I know we've seen this a little bit before, but Kurt is like he's thinking about the money. He's thinking about. Wait, do I have that picture? Hold on a second, so I can find this.
Some of these guys are making
maybe someone sent it to me.
a day.
The mummy edit, but it's the money.
And you don't think about giving it to any of your opinion. You know, just at least saying, hey, you know what? I know you're helping me. You're coming to my channel every day, helping me get these views and subs. It's not me. You know, just break off a little, or even like a gift or something. But none of those people did that. And matter of fact, I think Nick even promised a couple of people to actually break them off a piece and never broke them off a piece. So just to let everybody know, it was the thing that broke. The reason why
that's some hot goss I never heard.
Oh yeah. No, there's I don't know if he wants. Well, there's two people. I don't know if they want me to say their names, but they say they were promised by Nick.
All right, so The two names has come up again. Can you predict who it's going to be? I know, I guarantee I knew who one of them was. The other one I suspected, but is all the same. It's kind of interesting.
Of some of the action, and then it disappeared, and they never got it. So, and that was the reason. That's kind of what broke everything up. So, and then I remember we were all arguing over who, because then it was like the next trial. So it was like, who would be the solo person to do the next trial?
Oh yeah, like I saw that. Well, that part of like
that part got really
we're gonna organize this, and we're gonna have like that's you put a bunch of lawyers in a room, all they're gonna do is start fighting, and that actually was a good thing, I think.
Yeah.
Based Sean take as always.
There's a lot of hurt feelings during the whole Johnny Depp thing.
So sad.
Someone tried to set up a schedule up. Like it was going to be a thing. A couple of who were both lunatics.
and that's so fair. That's so fair. Two separate lunatics. So there was a couple things in that I want to clarify. First of all, in chat, you've got a number of Lawtubers. Which Lawtubers do you think were promised money by Nick Rekieta and he didn't deliver? So
are you talking about money from the Rittenhouse trial?
Oh, look at this. Hold on, guys.
Okay.
All right. So I made a promise last time. The chat, I only grifted for likes a couple times, but the chat got us over 400 likes, which means I'm going to gift 5 memberships right now to random people in the chat. I can sometimes do this. Next stream, if it happens again, then I'll gift 5 more. Can we hit it? Can we hit it? There's those free memberships. You get one. Let's you got to say that you got it. Spam some emojis in chat. You deserve it for getting those 400 likes on the stream. Much appreciated.
So there's both that happen in both.
Well, so it's not me because I saw you guys doing the Rittenhouse thing, and I was like,
it happened on both. It happened on both.
This is going to
so okay.
Reload chat.
People say you, meaning me, Bites, Joe, Bronca, Legal Bites. A lot of people say legal bites.
You got to say something in chat if you want to be eligible to get a gifted membership.
Kurt's in there. Kurt is hurt. Now, I don't know. Let me also say this. I don't know whether, like, when I reload my chat, I know 2 of them, and I don't give a fuck anymore. So, especially about these.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Now, my prediction in chat was, it's got to be Joe. It's got to be Joe. You got it. You just know. Joe, he was the left-hand man in the bunker. He was there all the time. The man started his stream as the Rekieta pre-show. He seethed in chat when people were just watching. People would go to Nick's chat before it started, and there'd be 200, 100 people, whatever, 500 people waiting for the stream to start. And Nick would be like, hey, why don't you just come over to my stream and watch my stream while you wait for Nick, and then I'll end my stream when Nick starts streaming. I could be the pre-show, guys. And he would seethe that people would not just join his stream rather than just talking and waiting for Nick. So when the idea was floated that somebody was unhappy that they didn't get the money, they didn't get the fair share, they didn't get their cut, I knew it was Joe. Joe was my #1 pick for the unhappiest man in the Johnny Depp situation. And we've mentioned this a little bit before, but there are some people that are trying to build their empire out of the bloated corpse of the Rekieta channel. He wants to absorb those still loyal pay buddies of Nick. And that's, I think, is why he got a little bit upset when I talked about him, because he's kind of dealing with a little bit of cognitive dissonance, where he wants to gain the money from remaining a loyal Rekieta boy, but he also wants to grift the money from Rekieta's downfall. So you can see why he might be a little bit seething a little bit, because he wants that monies, and also that he's now short $100,000.
So I have no problem putting this out there. Right
Were
now,
wait, so was it you?
No, I'm the third.
Okay.
So, but let's put that aside for a second. So, that said, there probably are more, because I wasn't privy to every private conversation. I wasn't always there. So, 2, when he said he knows 2, there's probably more. So, of this, from the Rittenhouse
I've never
trial,
heard this before. Good fraud joke.
I was behind stage with both Alita, Legal Bites, and Joe when he made a comment.
So not only this is a very so yeah, someone in chat earlier said that there was this clip where he said it in live. The post show, after you end a stream, you can still remain in the chat and talk to people, right? So now, Legal Mindset is saying that in the post show with just a few people, just 3 people, just Nick, Legal Bites, Joe, and Andrew, promises were made for these cash or rewards for good behavior. Now, maybe it was just the 1-year subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club, and people got too greedy. Who can say? But there you go.
He said he didn't know what, but it would be something. He didn't be specific about what it was. He didn't say it was a gift. And I don't.
What do you think his intention was? Like, what do you think was Nick's intent? Like, obviously, he didn't want to give them any money. Is it the Jelly of the Month Club? Is it the gracing his presence on their stream? What did Nick think that was going to be the good reward for people that built up his career while he sat back and got drunk off his ass, and they did all the legal analysis? What do you think? Is it just another? Is it? Oh, I know what it is. He was going to give them an extra copy of the 5K's local gift. Of course.
I'm going to talk about this because it was behind the scenes for a long time. But Joe was super salty that he never came through with that.
Joe!
Because he never came
Joe?
through. So I know that was at least one of the people from the Rittenhouse day.
Oh, we gotta play it. We gotta play it. Hold on a second.
Watching the Cope. Watching the Cope is always awesome. I love watching the Cope. I do. I enjoy watching the Cope. These people are bad people.
A man denied his $100,000 on just a simple. It could happen to you. Just a simple stamping your signature, on tens of thousands of debt collection agencies. It could happen to you. One bad day, you could owe Shawl $100,000. Better pay Shawl. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, I actually do like Joe. That's the thing, because I think he's entertaining. But I don't watch him anymore. But like, I guess I did like Joe. He had to go and make a fool of himself, though. If Joe was owed money, he would have it. Now, this is a very interesting statement as well. When it came to, so they had the first one, obviously, the Rittenhouse, and there was the Johnny Depp trial. Oh, fucking hell. I'm muted again. All right. Well, I guess you'll never know what he said now, right? All right, let's go back.
No, that was at least one of the people from the Rittenhouse days.
Really?
I'm not my best joke today.
Before all of this, right? And then when it came to the Depp trial, there was some what do you call it? Carrot and sticking.
Yeah.
With because Legal Bites was getting all the people.
All right, so there you go. So Legal Bites streams were getting bigger. This is true. She was doing those big panel streams, and Nick's streams were becoming more consolidated with people that were more, I guess, loyal to the Baldo Fuhrer, right? So this is a very interesting implication that Nick, on the back of his very successful $100,000 super chat Rittenhouse stream, which obviously established Lawtube as a thing and also created a multitude of people in the extended Lawtube universe, as we can see here. He was losing cast members to Alita and the Snake Bites group. So he started to this is what Legal Mindset is alleging, that Nick was promising rewards this time. Look, last time I didn't pay you, but baby, I've changed. This time we're going to share in the profits. But did their sharing come? Did even a cent of those dollars go to somebody else? Or was it just Nick showing up and seethed $20 super chatting people? He's like, hey, here's your $20 super chat. Enjoy paying 60% of it to Google. Later, boys. Who can say?
Right? So it was like, oh, well, Legal Bite's getting all the people. Well, why should we go to Nick? Well, he's gonna hint that, hey, we do well here. We're gonna break you off. But
I still wasn't part of this. Jesus.
I'm thinking like you didn't break us off before, and you insinuated it. Right now, once again, I wasn't mad about it at all because I didn't expect it. Because the benefit was getting initially when you go on those streams, as Sean can tell you,
people just click on. Yeah.
There's I want to say that there's a sort of diminishing returns when it comes to going on other people's streams. It's like after like 2 or 3 appearances, you kind of got all the people that are going to join and follow you because of that have kind of already decided they will. And, there's going to be different people every stream, of course. So if you've gone through like a few of those streams, the only real incentive to come on the stream again is if you like that person. So maybe if someone stops appearing on the streams or something, maybe they just don't like them. Who can say?
Get a lot of subs.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of viewers. That's a benefit. That's a real benefit. It grows your channel. Grew my channel a lot, and yes, that helped me out a shit ton. Getting a bunch of subs during Rittenhouse, getting a bunch of subs during Johnny Depp.
Disloyal mindset. I made you legal mindset. No.
But here's the problem. You only get so many subs. By
No,
being
Max
on
is
somebody
in the
else's
chat.
channel.
I love Max.
The amount
Max
of
is great.
subscribers and viewers, and more importantly, money you get from doing your own stream is not even close. It's 0 versus a lot. So I realized I'm spending hours and hours and hours. I've spent weeks of my time sitting on someone else's stream making 0, right? And I'm actually to the point where I'm neglecting my own.
Also, chat, if we make it to 800 likes, if we make it to 800 likes, I'll gift another 5 subs to the chat. If 50% of the people on chat like the stream right now, I'll gift another 5 memberships. Come on, chat, can you do it?
That was something my better half was trying to tell me at the time during Johnny Depp, and I was like, no, trust me, babe, this is working out. And now in hindsight, I'm like, I should have just started fucking running it and just making a couple of bucks.
Illegal Bites and her husband during the struggle session were very mad about that part. They were like, Nick should have broken.
Because you went to the wedding, right?
Yes, they were both very salty about that specific.
And so what did they say at the wedding?
It wasn't
at struggle session info.
It was even before. It was during the struggle session. Because remember, the struggle session was for permission to come to the wedding. Because I had to get struggle session because they're like, look, we don't want anybody who doesn't like her. They've got to pass this purity test, right? With Nick isn't looking to pass his purity test, and fuck that guy. And I'm like, hey man, I'm neutral in this. Like I'm whatever, right? Like Nick can speak for himself. He's a big boy, right? But part of that was he's like, I don't like how he's treated her, right? And that's why she was doing her own stream. That's why she did her own thing, because she was not treating her fairly, right? And in her defense, she made a shit ton of money. She made a fortune. Yeah, she made a fortune.
Yeah. Mean Copium actually did a good job of kind of panning that out, guessing.
Yeah.
So she ate good on that.
Actually, I saw Meme Copium in the chat. I will actually invite him. I'll send him an invite because I want him to.
Hey, look, Sean is right about this. Sean's opinion on this is just correct. I mean,
because he actually came up with the fucking numbers. If he can talk about that, because Meme Copium is really good. It's one of his skills to like do the monetization numbers. In fact, I heard he may have given you a little bit of help. On
he did. He did.
And on stuff as well. Yeah.
I made you, Sean. Disloyal, Sean. I sound like Ralph. No, I don't sound like Ralph Bish. Do I sound like I fold the bullshit? I can't do it as well as PPP, but I need to practice my Ralph voice. There's something so iconic about the Ralph voice. I love it. It's so good. Even if Ralph is now in a tin shed, drowning in Zannyberries and Modelo's, I'll always remember that iconic Ralph voice. How you would say that cats don't fold the bullshit. other Ralphisms. Oh my goodness.
But
so
he's
good.
good.
So
he's
good.
good. Like
chat,
he knows the stuff. And
it's
mind
actually,
you,
my
he
chat's
does a
actually
lot of
broken. It's not.
his
I can see it on
most
stream.
Profitable videos are scripted content.
There we go.
That he does for his Japan channel or his Amazon stuff. So he knows how the stuff works.
There's a bit of that was Clyde as being a naughty boy. So Clyde is not locked in the master bedroom bathroom, but Clyde gets into a little bit more trouble than Sonny does.
Sean?
Very, very cute. Very
no, the dog is in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Clyde's out barking, I think. I may have to go get him.
Again. Okay. Let me get these super chats. Lawyers. I was recently behind 2 lawyers on a sidewalk. A gorgeous woman walked by in the other direction. And one lawyer remarked, I could totally that. The other lawyer responded, yeah, Andy? Out of what?
That's actually a pretty funny joke. That's a pretty good joke.
Oh, and meme Copium, Josh, you got a link on.
All right, so I do join this chat, and then I talk about some of the things that we've covered in this stream. But like I said, this entire stream was very interesting, and the stream goes on for another 30 minutes. But if you want to watch the entire content, I would recommend that you do it on Andrew's channel. I'm going to like his stream right there, like you should have liked mine. So there you go. And okay, so now, what is this that Grim sent through? Let me go through and check that we've covered most of the tabs. Check it all. Look at those tabs. Look at those tabs. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. clearing all these things. Okay. No, there was more stuff, actually. There was some more stuff. But I want to see if I can find any more of the thing. So, there was also this tweet as well that we kind of missed out on. Let me help. Do I strike you as a person who would offer to pay a smaller channel to guest on my huge show? I would never offer to pay someone. Coming on my show was hugely profitable to every guest of mine, except for, I guess, Kurt, who didn't get to enjoy the drugs. He didn't get to enjoy the Johnny Depp money, and he didn't get to enjoy the wife's. Well, you know, he didn't get to enjoy our wife. Very, very, very sad. Am I going to stream Darkwood? Yeah, but maybe not in 10 hours. But there will be a Halloween stream, spooky game stream sometime. But I want to schedule it around Jim's stream, and there's a lot of popular people streaming for Halloween, so I kind of want to find my own little spot to do. But yeah, he didn't get to go in the hot tub either. Very sad. I'm sure that he would. But what a statement to make. It's like, let me prove the A-Log's wrong. Do I look like I would pay any losers to come on my channel? They should be paying me for the honor of kissing the Baldo ring. Now, this is quite the audacity of it, right? Like he did promise that he would reward them in some way. And I think that in his mind, I can understand how his brain works now, even though it's filled with, I don't have quite as much wet brain, loose neurons floating around in there. In Nick's mind, he is true and honest on this opinion because he never promised monetary gains. He said he would reward them somehow. And again, it was in the exposure that he paid them. But I think that any person in good faith that watched the clip talking about it, which is here, would assume that after talking about earning $21,000 in a single day, he most likely was inferring that they would receive some sort of monetary payment. And that seems to be where some of the bad blood comes from. But what's really interesting about all this to me is that if you thought that the money was coming and the money did not come, and you still stuck around, what cuckoldry behavior. You stuck around knowing that, look, this time's different. He hit me last time, but he's changed. This time he loves me. He's not going to hit me again. He's changed. You don't understand. Mistreating dogs, waiting for the master to throw scraps from the table. Oh my goodness. Suffer lawyers. Look, some lawyers I assume are good people. And quite honestly, Nick did help a lot of people get started, and maybe we should thank him for that. Like I said, I did like the old Nick. I wish that the old Nick could come back, but it seems like it's unlikely. And I'm not like other people that say that the show was never good. The show was good. It got bad. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, it got bad so slowly over the course of like a year or two that we didn't quite notice until we were in too deep and the hedonism pics came out, or the bottle and the ass pics came out, and all these things. And it's very sad to see. But perhaps, you know what? There's one thing that it reminds me of. Do you guys remember demotivational posters? This is a very old meme. Demotivational poster example. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can find this. All right. So this is an antique meme. We've got to be careful with this because it's on loan from the Smithsonian. But there used to be a thing called demotivational posters. They were like, you know, those pictures of like a poster where it's like a kid is like a kitten is like hanging on, it's like hang in there, baby. It's like those, but they're depressing. And that was the edgy humor of the early internet. I think this is like from the 2000s or something. But my favorite was always this one. It was called Mistakes. Mistakes. It could be that the purpose of your life is only to serve as a warning to others. And well, that may be the case. So there are some people that can learn from their mistakes, and there are others that just are going to serve as examples. And I think that there's probably nothing I will say that'll top that comment, which means that we will wind down the stream. But before you go, be sure to like the stream. And yes, there will be a Halloween stream. Maybe not tomorrow. It is Halloween in Japan tomorrow, but maybe I'll do it on November 1st because then November 1st, my morning would be Halloween for most people, I think. So maybe I'll do it on Saturday, my AM, which would be your PM. I think that kind of works out, right? So it'll either be during the day or it won't be at the regular time. Like tomorrow there won't be a stream at this time unless something really, really bad happens. When I say bad happens, I mean something very funny happens, but not to me. Do it tonight. For what? Can you talk in like relative hours to my time? Like how many hours from now are you expecting it? There may be a stream 12 hours from now or 18 hours from now. I guess maybe we'll see. Because like I said, it's Halloween night tomorrow, and I want to go out and film some stuff, and also I'm going to meet some friends up. So there probably won't be a regular Friday stream either this week. So you got a week off from drinking, Max and BP. 12 hours from now. 12 hours from now is possible. 12 hours from now is possible. But I got to. I mean, I want to watch the gym stream too, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest. But the chat was. We didn't quite reach the 800. We got 600 likes, pretty close, but not quite enough. But we did have a very generous chat tonight. So while we close out the stream, I think we'll play a song. We'll play a song, shall we? One of the best songs ever. Gym stream is way after that. Should I stream before or after gym, though? That's the question. All right, guys. There we go.
Did you hear me?
I'm out. Peace, guys. Have a good one.
My hookers, my super chats,
and go check out Lipstick Larry.
Because every single super chat I got it tax-free, tax-free. Take out your pill bottles, shake your pills, shake your pills, because it's gonna be tax-free, tax-free, tax-free. Tell you what is that we got it. Tax-free in my little tin shack. Cats flying in tornadoes. Gun flopping up and down. Let's get the guns out. Gun, 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 gun. Shake it around when it's tax-free. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. It's a tip, so it's tax-free. But wiggle. You best not fold the bullshit because these super chats, they all tax-free. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yo, Faith, don't make me say it. Squeeze. Child support, Faith, it's tax-free. Compass Sneed, cause it's tax-free. That's right, bitch. Now kiss my Gucci hat. I say kiss it. It's authentic, bitch. It's time to gun out. Shake your gun like you mean it. Wiggle, wiggle. Welcome to the kill street. This song. Wiggle, wiggle. What you mean I'm drunk?